Welcome to another live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and it's all a bit different tonight. Everyone's got different backdrops. As you can see beside me on the screen, you got Jeff with his customary chair, but Dave is actually in the lounge room, not the bungalow tonight. Bill,
Andrew gave me $50 and told me to wait on this couch. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
None of us are sure what's going to happen with anything at all tonight. Bell below them has made herself a little cubby with TNT cushions, and Conrad is having to use his phone because his laptop is not handling things, not handling from point of view there. So it's all a bit different, but we're here to do more chaos for your enjoyment, as we always do each and every week. So we've got a lot to get through, as always. Live albums, round 3 for King of the Riff is going to be Live and Dangerous from Thin Lizzy going up against AC/DC's If You Want Blood, You've Got It. So another cracking battle there. We have round 3 of Build a Playlist of our Led Zeppelin songs, which is Led Zeppelin 3 this time round. We're bringing back the game Guess the Song, where someone goes through the lyrics and the rest of us have to try and guess it. And Jeff is going to go first on that process for this little series here. Backyard Banger is going to be, that's what we're going to call that new segment we introduced last week. We're going to call it Backyard Banger. We're going to be focusing on Shotgun Mistress. So Dave has a little bit of a review for us and some other information around that as well. There's all the usual stupidity around that, so make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Details for us are in the description box. So keep up to date with us. Check us out on TV as well, 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights on Channel 44 and 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights on Channel 31, Melbourne, and you can watch those locally, online in TV, online on the app, and just the website as well. So there's, it's all there. And if you check out our Patreon page, then give us any help there. That'd be greatly appreciated. Speaking of that, a new patron joined us this week. So a special shout out to Susan for jumping into Patreon. Thanks for jumping in and giving us a chop out there. Greatly appreciated. There's levels for everyone. There's even a free tier if you just want to check things out for a little while. So, and keep up to date with different things going on over there. There's just go and check it out, sign up and have a look. Comments, what do we got here? So Nicole is here saying, hello all, good to see you as always. Same with Rowan. Rowan is here too. Rowan. Good to see you. Michael, good evening all. Good to see you as well. And same with Jolie. Hi all, you look awesome as always. Well, thank you for the kind words.
Thank you.
How true that is, but we'll take it.
My beauty filter is on, obviously.
Yeah, we've got some sophisticated stuff here to make us look good. I'll tell you that. Shit. Alrighty, so I think I've covered the usual preamble. We've got a lot to get through, like I was saying, as always. I think that's
just a second. I just wanted to say I've been doing a bit of promos. So for those of you for the first time that are tuning in around the world, around the globe, I'm hoping there's going to be some people from the UK tuning in and from other parts of the globe. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. Let us know where please let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Thank you.
Good one. Yeah.
Awesome. I know my advertising is working. So I know my advertising's working at least.
Not even that. Just for a bit of fun, let us know where you're all hanging out from. We know where our regulars are, but people in the chat won't know from each other. So here's one.
So the newbies, let us know where you're tuning in from, please. Thank you. I'll shut up.
No, it's all good, mate. That's a good idea. Terry, a good friend of ours, and myself and Jody. Great to see all of you live. We are here, so good to see you again, Terry. Hopefully you're keeping well down there. Jody says hello to everyone, by the way, just for the record.
Jody.
On the Michael is here. Hey, good to see you all. Good to see you. Vinny's gone. Hey all, hope you're well. That toilet view from Conrad is very immersive. So I don't know. Vinny,
bitter, man. Yeah,
Vinny's off to a flyer. Oh,
it does. You know.
I'm not on the toilet. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. My bed. I'm not on the shitter. I'm not on the shit.
Not yet, anyway. We'll see how we go tonight. Terry's here. Hi, everyone. We're off to a flyer. So all those new people, I hope you're enjoying the show. We'll see what happens with that. And if you are watching, then tell a friend and get people to join us as well. Have some fun with us.
Tell a friend. Make them watch us.
Tell a friend.
Yeah. Bash is here. Hi, all. Good to see you as well, Bash. Thanks for coming in. All right, I'm going to skip the comments for now. We're going to move on to songs of the week. So we're going to get stuck into that. Is the first segment for tonight's show. Now, before we do the rounds on that one, just going to do a quick couple of shout outs here. So Sonic Universe, It Is What It Is, and Fight the Sun, Melbourne band Fight the Sun with Devil in the Deep Blue Sea. Both of those are into their second week in Hot Rocks at the moment. So you can check out our Hot Rocks playlist via our Spotify profile. I should probably share a link to that at some point, but I'll get there. Then we have Riff Raiders, Nothing to Lose, is now into its third week, which is pretty bloody cool. So well done to them as well. That's we do try to carry some over where we need to, kind of thing. We don't always do it, obviously, but it's just sort of one of those things that pops up. I'm going to quickly put a link to the playlist in the comments. So if you want to like and follow along with our weekly Hot Rocks playlist, this is where we nominate songs and get ourselves and Patreon people to vote on it, and then whatever is most popular is what makes it to our songs of the week this week. So these are the little shout outs. Then the ones that didn't quite make the cut, coming in number 8 this week was Unleash the Archers with Blood Empress. Number 7 was another Aussie band out of Sydney, I believe, with Battlesnake, the Kia Solomon. And then number 6 was taken by Praying Mantis from the start. So that's the ones outside the top 5 that made it through this week. The top 5 are the ones we're going to go to or go through. And that means we're going to start with Dave's assignment for this week. Coming in at number 5 is this particular track. This is Ghost with Absolution. There's a link in the comments and the description. There's reference tracks for everything we're talking about tonight in the description box in case you miss something as we go through. Now, if I'm not wrong, this appears to be the first taste of what we can expect musically from the upcoming feature film right here, right now, set for a June cinematic release. This one was nominated by Michael C. Did well enough to make take the 5th spot this week. So there we go. We'll do the rounds, Dave will give us his thoughts, and we'll do a quick rounds on what our shot score is here, if it gets us legless or shit-faced or whatever else. Dave's got the patch going to show off there. But anyway, over to you, Dave. How'd you go with your assignment this week? Pretty sure you're okay with it.
Yeah, this is fucking cool. I was not familiar with the song. It's from before I understood what this band was about.
Okay, cool.
And it didn't come along until their most recent album. Slowly backtracking from then. There is something very, very clever about this band and how they craft their songs. This has elements of the shiny pop that they get criticized for, and it also has that sense of menace in some parts. So it's a great contrast. I love that contrast about Ghost. So many bands are trying to be the heaviest, fastest, darkest, most evil thing, and Ghost achieves a lot more than most bands, and it's genuinely creepy. On the surface, it seems like an upbeat song, but the lyrics tell a much darker story. You can catch more flies with honey, and it's while being tongue-in-cheek and thought-provoking. I went back and gave the album version a listen. It's a cool song in itself, but I really like the live version. It's not just the live energy and the crowd that comes in, there's pyro at the start. It's the vocals. There's a lot more menace, and he sounds a lot more confident in what he's doing. He sounds like he's really comfortable in himself on stage, just commanding a massive fucking audience. And that part where he gets the crowd to scream, I really want to see this movie. I didn't get to see Ghost when they came out here, but this is a band I must see. The solo is really cool, and I'm really curious about this movie. We had this on during the week, I think Tuesday morning, where we're kind of all stuck doing the fucking New Machine. And the new guy that works there is a massive Ghost fan, so I chucked on some Ghost, running through a whole bunch of songs, their favorites, and chucked this one on, and we're just going back and forth, just like, how fucking creepy is this shit, and how clever is this lyric, and do you know the story behind this and everything? So it was really cool to learn a bit more about this band that I'm still very new to. But for years, I didn't get it, and all of a sudden it just clicked. It's like, fuck, this is really exceptionally clever. So this gets 9 shots. I am legless. It also gets 10 Hail Satans, because that's the shit right there.
Here we go. Here we go. All righty. Jeff, how about you? You score? Any thoughts?
Look, I've been a fan of Ghost forever, and this is from the Meliora album, which was before prequel. And I can love it. So I couldn't help but give it. This is 9 shots. I'm legless or fucking whatever the hell it is. I am with Dave on the floor rolling around.
I don't like the image, dude.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not the best image.
That's the guy working at the Whack Factory playing Ghost.
Maybe. But anyway, 9 shots.
Let's just drink some shots, dude. Forget about rolling on the floor together, man.
Well, that's what happens. You drink enough shots and the ground just keeps hitting you in the fucking face. It happened to me.
Believe me, dude. I know.
I'm like, what the fuck is up with this fucking ground? Fuck off. Stop hitting me in the face.
Yeah, well, it's a problem when you're
up off the ground as a fucking champion effort. Like, yes, I did it. No, I didn't.
All right, let's try and inject a bit of class into this. Belle, how'd you go with the song?
She says, as she drinks from a tinny. Yeah, that's classic.
Yes, tinny.
I timed it well.
Yeah.
I am legless with 8 shots. Not quite on the floor with the boys, which is a good thing. I'll just kind of sway around on the couch.
All right. You sway along and
Ghost being awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, Conrad. Do we dare ask?
Well, you know my feelings. You know my feelings about this band. Look, as far as a live performance goes, it's great. It's brilliant.
Yep.
It's just I'm not too comfortable with the subject matter, obviously. But as far as a live performance goes, it's good. I had seen them live. I've seen them a couple of times live. Actually, one of my mates was one of the Faceless Ghouls for a while.
Oh wow!
He was a touring guitarist for a while. He's now playing with the Sisters of Mercy. He's on tour with the Sisters of Mercy now. But so I went to support him. I went to watch him. I did find it a very uncomfortable watch, but nevertheless, it was. I can see the theatrical appeal, and it was nevertheless entertaining, regardless. So yes, but as far as a live performance goes, great. It's brilliant.
How many shots?
I'll give it 7.
Nice.
Geez, that's high.
7 shots.
I mean, out of for a live performance perspective.
That's all right.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's in the Legless category.
666 shots. See how far we get with that.
That was why we're on the floor game, because we're legless.
I'm gonna,
we can't stand up.
None of us can stand up. I'm going to join in on the party because I'm legless as well. I gave this an 8. I think it's a genuinely great representation of the band live, and I love how this sounds. And it does take me back to when I did see them live, and that's the cool thing. But when you get a live recording that sort of matches your memory, that's really cool. So I love the album when it came out as well. So yeah, this is one of those things. I'm looking forward to the movie, but I don't know if I'll be able to see it where I am. But we'll see how we go. On that note, Vinny says,
I'll find it on the torrent site and send you the file.
I'm just going to say that movie's only going to be shown 1 or 2 days, and then it's being
it's only
told.
a couple of days. Then it goes.
And only be selected cinemas. I can imagine.
It'll come
I can imagine it would be like those independent kind of cinemas.
I'm not sure because Vinny's here. He says I'm going. I got my ticket for Crown Village. So there we go. That's
And imagine
Europa
Village.
Whereabouts, Vinny? Whereabouts?
I would have thought like those independent type of cinemas, but okay, it's interesting. It's getting.
The more art house stuff, but then Village have their own art house. You got normal, you got fucking the gold class, and you got Europia or whatever it is. Well, the arty.
Oh, okay. So they've gone down that route.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sally's here. She says hello metal people.
Hey,
Sally, thanks for jumping in. Basher says Ghost Absolution live, fantastic on my bucket list to see live. They are a great band live.
Seen them twice.
Always laughing a day. Vinny's gone 10 shots, so he's all over it. Jolie says 9.5 for Ghost. Vinny says, is Spider locked out of the house again? I don't recognize that room.
I am locked in the house. The tables have turned.
Crown Casino, Jeff. That's what Vinny has replied with.
Crown
And
Casino,
Michael has gone, selected cinemas, but all over the place. So there we go from Michael. So we're getting a lot of information there. So keep us posted, people. Michael says, Conrad's in London, so he can't block our view. Bloody tall people, 9.5 self-score. There you go. Tall people at gigs is something interesting. Alrighty, let's move on. Next song up is Belle's assignment this week. So moving on, in the comments, in the description box, all the usual, you have a band called Alive in Stone with a single 2-piece town. This is the latest single from the band out of Orlando, Florida, I believe, that they call themselves, quote unquote, a cemetery pop band, although they've seemed to have evolved from that initial formation back in 2022 is when they started. They've released 1 EP and a host of singles, nominated by Vinny. Speaking of Vinny, this made it to number 4 this week, and as a consequence, it got to Belle, randomly assigned there for her to go through. So, Belle, take it away. Your thoughts on this one?
I get Vinny's song last week, and I was concerned about what I was saying and what he would do. Here we go again.
Oh, okay.
Take 2.
Look.
What happens next week, man? 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
I thought I was considered the guillotine. I got nicknamed the guillotine.
Well, if I get assigned decent songs, then I'll, rate them accordingly.
Those claws. Retract those claws.
Shots fired already. Okay, here we go. Get back in.
It was pretty good. It wasn't that all that bad. It was pretty good. But there was nothing actually wrong with it at all. There's modern sounding hard rock. use of effects here and there really gave it that modern feel, the 2020s feel. And but I have a feeling that might date it only a few years down the track, which isn't a good or a bad thing, but I think it's going to happen. It'll pinpoint to an era. But it feels like the kind of song that I've been listening to. I know this sounds like a contradiction, but it feels like the sort of song I've been listening to since the 90s, over and over and over again, but just with that modern kind of feel to it. Yeah, it just, I think it would appeal to anyone. It's good, it's safe, it's even, I think, radio friendly, and there's a nice bookend with the intro and the ending, kind of where it quietens down a bit. But it just didn't really stand out. Am I still there? Or am I yeah, it just didn't really stand out as anything particularly exciting for me. And the band's Spotify bio was incredible. They really talked themselves up. But based on this song, I'm not hearing what they're saying. So I guess I could explore further and listen to more tracks, but I'm not particularly interested to. So we'll see. I didn't actually rate it. I don't know. I'll give it a. Shit, where's the rating list?
Give me a number. I'll give you a rating.
Down. I'll give it a 6 double vision.
Double
it wasn't
vision,
bad, but it wasn't. Sorry, Vinny. Sorry.
I'm going to quickly chime my thoughts in, and I'm going to open the door so the dog can get out. I think it's polished. It's a bit of a genre bender, but it has one hell of a hook in it. I can see why it's catchy. Like Belle said, it's one of those songs that'll appeal to anyone. I think it's got good punch though when it wants to kick in. I think it's easy to see why it went as well as it did. It is one of those ones that's universally sort of got that appeal going for it. Gives me a bit of an earlier sort of 3 Days Grace vibe to it. Just different. It's not the same thing, but there's that era. Like if you liked early 3 Days Grace, you're probably going to get into this one, I reckon. It's just in that world, not a clone. I will happily check out more of this band. I liked it quite a bit, so I gave it an 8.5. So I'm legless on this one as well. Jeff, you can take over and just pass it along for a second. I'll be back in just a moment.
Anyway, I just want to say, Hail Caesar, Hail Caesar.
I got to let Caesar out.
All right, I know. Yeah, look, this song for me, I quite liked it. I thought it does have that throwback sound. It has that sort of. I got exactly what you were saying, Belle. That 90s. Yes, you've heard this song 1,000 times before. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It has that comfortable feeling that, it's not breaking new ground or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is. And I'd probably check out more from them as well, just to see where they go. Because, you can't really judge a band on just one song, really. I mean, it's unfair unless your name's Electric Wizard. So, but you can't. So I gave this. I'm going to give this 7 shots. I quite like this. So
okay,
so
cool.
Yeah.
Still enough to get legless. Still enough to get
legless. I'm legless. Yeah.
Dave,
legless.
Here we go again. We did this last week.
I know. It sticks in your head. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Belle when she said, you read the bio on Spotify, you expect one thing, but you got something different. So as you said, Andrew, in the spiel, that they've probably progressed from their original sound in 2022. So it might be worth going back to hear that, see if it's actually matching the bio. The bio is awesome, as Belle said, but the song itself is, it's good. It's a song, as Andrew said a few weeks ago. It's going to be one of our new mottos. It's a song.
It's going to carry, isn't it?
It's good. I don't remember much of it now, and I heard it a few times throughout the week. So, I'll give it a 7. It was good. It's enjoyable, but, it doesn't really distinguish from many other songs that are out there. But it's not terrible. It's not fantastic, but, the bio was more exciting than the song.
Wow, we're getting some quotes out of this one. All right, Conrad, final opinion on this song goes to you. How'd you go?
Can't hear.
Sorry. Hang on. Sorry, Conrad. The feedback was coming from you, so I had to mute you for a second. So please start again. My mistake.
Yeah. What was the song, please?
It was
Two-Piece Town.
Two-Piece Town, yeah.
From Alive in Stone. Yeah.
By whom?
Alive in
in
Stone.
Stone.
Okay, I did listen to all of these, so I'm just going to pull it up and see which one it was.
If you watch the video, it was the one on the plane with the.
I didn't watch any of the videos. I didn't watch any of the videos. The Perfect Sea, Shotgun Messiah, Shotgun Mistress, Prison, Two-Piece Town. Yeah, this was okay. It didn't smash it out the ballpark for me. It was all right, but it wasn't like memorable. I wasn't like, oh my God, blown away. You know, I think a lot of these songs this week we got sounded almost like the same band. To be honest, I thought. Yeah, but no. I guess this gets 4 shots.
Okay, so a bit double vision.
4 shots for me. 4 shots for me, yeah.
Double vision.
Barely.
Hasn't smashed it, but you know.
Just past tipsy. That's good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, let's see what the audience, because Vinny, when Belle was talking about the response, Vinny had the
You're the new guillotine.
Yeah, it's going to be fun now. Jolie says, really like this song, 7.5 from Jolie. Vinny says, used to be my second favorite, Belle. Oh, no, here we go.
Your second favorite? Who was your first favorite?
Playing with fire. Michael says, 8 shots.
And what level is Belle on now?
And Kevin, good to see you again. Greetings,
Kevin.
Kids. Good to see you. Hopefully you're keeping well over there. Kids is interesting in the context. All righty. Moving on. The next song, Conrad, is yours. So get yourself ready, because in the comments, in the description, you're going to find the track Crownshift with that's the band. The song is My Prison. This comes from the Finnish band's self-titled debut album, recently released on May the 10th. Members of this band have been involved in Nightwish, Children of Bodom, Winter Sun, and more. This was nominated by Basher and made it to number 3 this week, so it was quite popular. Conrad, are you going to be the guillotine, or how is this going to go?
No, I was very impressed with this. This was a breath of fresh air. I was like, fucking hell, this is good. This is very crisp. Very crisp. It's very bright. I like brightness. It was really crisp. And modern sounding too. There was a bit of Devin Townsend in there I could pick up on. And I don't know a lot of his stuff. I'm not hugely familiar with his stuff, but from what I it did remind me a little bit of some of his stuff of what I've heard of his. And it's executed well. There's some good musicianship in here. There's some really nice playing. So now this was good. I did enjoy this. So I'm going to give this an 8. 8 shots from me.
Legless.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good indeed. Let's reverse this one. Belle.
Well done, Basher. Well done, Basher. Thank you.
Great nomination from Basher this week. Belle.
Yep. Well done.
Did you like this one more?
I'll give it a 6 again. Double vision.
Double vision. Wow.
Oh, wow.
You are the hatchet tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Guillotine.
You know what?
This week.
I actually listened to this album, and it's certainly not the best song on it. I preferred other songs. The songs are. I just didn't like the chorus. The chorus of this song annoyed me, so that's why I gave it a lowish score because of that.
Chorus.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
rubbed you the wrong way.
The album's worth checking out, definitely.
Yeah, the album's cool.
All right. Well, on that note, Dave, your thoughts on the song?
Yeah, Crownshift, champion. There's a dude from Nightwish, not an original member of Nightwish, but he is in Nightwish, so that is cool.
He is. Yep.
But yeah, I heard the album like Belle. Heard the album earlier this week, and was it last week? Sometime I've heard the album. Yeah, I agree. It's not the best song on the album, but it's a pretty good song. I will be a bit kinder. I'll give it about an 8. But yeah, there is better songs on the album as well worth checking out. So yep, good job, Basher.
Nice. All right, Jeff.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I don't think I'd give it quite 8 though. I think I'll be a little more reserved. I'll go 7.5 shots.
Wow.
Like, what am I gonna do with that other half a shot? I don't know.
Half a shot. Come on.
Well, half a shot, man. I'm gonna save it for later.
You never
No, you can't do half a shot.
You can't sip on the shot.
Hey,
Wow.
Andrew was doing half shots all last week, man.
Yeah.
A page out of his book. That's all.
We can give half a star.
Andrew is the
Half a
master.
star.
Come on. Anyway,
Uh,
so I quite liked the song. I did like it. I thought it was good. Yeah, I've heard a few songs from these guys. I haven't heard their album, the full album yet, but I have heard a couple songs. I thought it was all right. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh my god, but it was good. It was quite good.
Nightwish.
7.5 shots is plenty, and I'm still fucking legless. So
Yeah, you're still legless.
All right, it gets a MIDI. It gets a MIDI or a pot.
Immediate.
You gotta give it 7 shots and a MIDI and a pot, or a packet of crisps.
And a permanent
Packet of crisps or a packet of peanuts.
and a crisp. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
It's nibble noise nuts. All right. Anyway, yeah, you lot are a bunch of Grinches tonight. Fuck you all. I give this a 10. Fuck it. I love this song.
What have I
I
done to you, man?
loved it.
I
I
gave it
reckon the
8.
album's going to be a contender for album of the year. It's fucking great. And this, yeah, I agree. There's probably, quote unquote
that's
better
right.
songs
Yeah.
on the album, but this song is so good. I've heard it that many times because the thing is, for me, I've heard it when it first came out because it was sent to us. I've edited it into a TV episode. We've done it on this thing, and I've listened to it so many times I've lost count. And each time I hear it, I fall more and more in love with it. I think it's so well done. It's so clean, so well produced. It's heavy when it wants to be, beautiful and melodic at the other times. It's got everything you want, and it's the perfect sort of gateway to this band because this band, there's a lot more to it than just this song. But it's the best gateway into this band. If this song hooks you, it'll seduce you into the whole fucking album, which again is a ripper. I want to do a review on this one at some point. I love it to bits. I think I don't know. Like I said, I've lost count of how many times I've played this song, and I'm not tired of it at all. So for me, I'm hammered. I'm shit faced. I'm on the floor. I'm fucking paralytic. I loved it. I think it's fantastic.
Dude, wow. Fuck. Can we hear the new Nightwish song like next week? Because I need to hear your thoughts on that. Fuck.
It's an interesting song, man. I listened to it today. But we'll have to work out something. That depends on if the audience voted in or the Patreon people.
Come on, audience. Make me talk a lot.
Join
you
the
can
Patreon.
vote it in,
Yeah,
Dave.
we want that. All righty.
You can-
Let's see what the audience have to say. Vinny's gone with an 8. Roland says, I've been listening to the whole Crownshift album this week, like a cross between Devin Townsend and I guess you'd call it metalcore. I like it a lot. A probable purchase. So that's the highest praise you can get there.
I did not get Devin Townsend or metalcore at all in that album.
I did not get metalcore.
I got yeah.
Got melodic death, but not.
Yeah, I
There-
liked it. It definitely wasn't metalcore.
I think they're a band that anyone can find their own reference point to, and that's what
Yeah.
makes them so interesting and fascinating.
agree.
In their own way. David's here. G'day, all. Good to see you, David. Michael says 7.5 shots. I liked it. Quality nominations this week. So there we go. Jolie says 7 shots for me. Just going the half shot less. Vinny says half a shot is like snapping one off. Either take a shit or get off the pot.
Vinny.
That was aimed directly at
Tip for Conrad.
There
Wow.
we go.
I get the super good. Fuck, Conrad, what is this angle?
I don't know.
That's the Dave Ellison playing.
Bash has gone.
Run a little bit, man.
Bash
I
has
have
given
seen
it a
it,
9.
okay.
Keep us moving. Bash
good.
There's machinery, dude.
Basher first saw it on the TV episode, which is where this whole thing cycled in from. So that's a cool
Nice.
little roundabout there.
Cool.
Yep.
Vinny says, "Go Andrew, all in. We're not here to fuck spiders. Take your house, Indian party with them." So,
And that spider
Oh.
comment would have been great last week.
yeah. And Basher has gone. No, we should have released new song and video Perfume of the Timeless. I'll request it. So there we go. There's we'll see how that
Please do.
goes. Give it
I
some
have a
time.
lot to say.
Give it
Give
some
it some
time.
more love, because
I
It
will
takes
bring
a
the
couple weeks
Vaseline.
to cycle through. It'll take a minute. But Rowan says that's Conrad giving birth to technology angle. So there we go. That's what we're getting.
Oh. Push!
Like
It's an
shitting on
iPhone.
a fucking
Yeah,
keyboard.
just don't
Yes.
snap it off. Otherwise, we're in
Yeah.
a real world of hurt.
Oh, boy.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to keep us moving. All right. Here
I'm
we go.
coming.
All right. Next song for Songs of the Week is my assignment for this week. Jeff gets to go last, gets the number one choice. So the next song in the list, in the description, is Audio Rain, The Perfect Sea. This is the title track from the Adelaide band's second album, released on May the 10th as well, which we have a review of that coming soon. Just waiting on some submissions from 2 of you here tonight. This is a band we've had a lot of love for over the years since their debut album a few years back. Spoiler alert, the new album is fucking great as well. nominated by Jenny from Riff Raiders. This one made it to number 2 this week and is pipped by another awesome Aussie band coming up next, which we'll get to that in a second. But for me, I'm going to give this a 9. I'm still legless on this one. This song, I think it sets up the album really well. It's a second track on the album, and it's about the relationship of the band with their fans, and the way they told the story of that is what makes this song have its really emotive impact for me. It's a bit of a build. It sort of starts out with the ballad feel. It doesn't get too heavy as it goes along, but it's sort of that sort of mid-pace kind of a track. But it sounds great. It's well written. It's well performed. The emotive content is there, and as is the connection, you can feel the connection that the band have with the fans in the song, and that's hard to do well. And they've nailed it. Like so many of their songs, the storytelling is just bang on, and it just and you don't get many that do it this well that consistently, to be honest. I love songs that do a salute to their fans or to the road crew, all that kind of stuff, acknowledging that it's more than just the band that makes it all work and tick around. And if they're done well, you sort of sit up and take notice of that, because it's hard, because it can come off really tacky sometimes. For me, I just enjoyed this one. This band overall are a real blend of hard and soft, sort of heavy rock, and then you got the softer ballad side of things. This is on the softer side, but believe me, if you check out the album, you're looking for something a bit meatier, then you're going to get plenty of that there as well. They have some great stuff. Great band, great guys. I think this is a great song personally. It's not anything you haven't heard before in some respects, but I just think the message and the way it's delivered is what makes this one actually stand out. Even though musically it may not be, oh my goodness, but just the way it's delivered, I think that really has set the tone really well for a wonderful album. But anyway, 9 for me. I'm legless on this track. Let's do the rounds. Jeff, how'd you go?
Loved it. And once again, yep. I'm going to be legless on this. I'm going to do 8. I think this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. And everything I've heard from this band is just, gotten better and better and better. Everything I hear. So it's one of those things that I like them a lot. They've got a great sound. And they bring it. They don't leave anything on the table, which is great. So, yeah, I am legless. 8.
Cool. Dave. He's already got it.
Get it. It's a fucking great album.
Yeah.
Excellent band, excellent people, great live, great songs. I can't say enough good things about it. This is definitely a 9. Much like Andrew and Jeff said, I fucking loved this band. Seen them twice live, spoken to Jake, and yeah, great song. The song, The Perfect Sea, it's just such a fucking, as Andrew says, a love story between the fans and the band, and it takes a lot for a band to release an album and stick around because it costs fucking money. And the cost of living keeps going up. It gets harder and harder. So many bands have come and gone and have so much potential. And it's really sad to see so many bands have to call it a day because it's just not financially viable to continue as a band, because you get yourself into debt to finance this shit. And to be able to push through and keep going, and just because you love it. No fucking money in it, because the fans love it, and there's a connection between it. So to have a song like this, it's perfect. And great band, right band to do this type of song. I love it. 9 shots. I'm fucked up.
Nice. All right.
I think just reiterating what Dave was saying there. So definitely very much so in Australia. I think it's really hard financially in Australia, because there's just not that many places to play. You just don't have the amount of venues to play.
I mean,
you just
you could travel from Queensland to Victoria and do the equivalent miles in the UK and play 20 fucking places, and you got
exactly. You can do half. If you were to go to Brisbane to Melbourne, like you could do. You're right. Probably about 20 dates in that space. So whereas Australia, you'd probably do 5. It's tough.
Lucky.
It is tough in Australia, definitely.
Oh, I mean, that's right. That's
the best advice I can give to a local band: leave. Go overseas. Leave.
If you want to play
I always say that to domestic bands: get the fuck out of Australia. Absolutely.
Yep. Which is horrible. We have some of the best bands in the world. We've got some of the best bands.
Yeah, AC/DC would never have gotten to the heights that they did had they stayed.
Yeah,
they stayed there. Yeah.
Well, Conrad, while you're talking, what did you think of the song?
I loved it. Yeah, that was great. It was really good. So it's getting. This is one of the slower. I think this is one of the slower ones out of the others. Definitely. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I'll give this 7 shots.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Solid. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the battle axe of the evening. Belle.
Cadillacs.
Well, I am going to give this a 10.
Yeah,
I
there we go.
Nice.
shit-faced.
Proud of
This
you,
one
Belle.
did it for me. Yeah, this one did it. It had everything. It had gently beautiful melodies that were both melancholy and hopeful at the same time. That is really hard to do. Heavy and powerful while being rich with emotion. And like, I haven't heard a song from this band that I don't like. And I haven't even heard the album, which I'm sure I would
You don't hear
retain
the
that
album.
opinion. I've got to hear the album. Yeah, these
be
guys are
honest,
awesome.
Spoiler alert, the opening song, Relentless, is probably my song of the year. This album's fucking fantastic.
Ooh, that's
Nice.
cool.
Listen to it. Give it a listen. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I will. So yeah, they're just talented, diverse, and I hope they go far. At least far away from Adelaide, because it sounds like they need to.
Yeah, they're world class.
Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That they are. All right, let's see what the audience say. Before going back to the previous song, so going back to scroll back a bit more now. Sorry, it's Crownshift here. Johnny jumped in. Good to see you. It's going, sounds like an awesome listen. So there we go. Back onto Audio Rain for a second. Michael said 9 shots. Love the whole album. Love the mix and mastering. A great sound. That is true. Jolie says 9 shots for me. Really loving them. Still cannot wait to see them live, which I will. 9 for Jolie. Man, good to see you, man, family. Great cool tune.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, Vinny's gone 9 shots. It's a lot of love here. Jolie's gone 9 shots for me. Love that album. Still cannot wait to see them live. The lyrics are awesome.
Wow.
Michael says, Dave, agree. Relentless, great track. That track is a 10. So there we go. And Michael also says, good to see you as well, buddy. Audio Rain album is fantastic. Seen them live twice. They are a great live band as well. They are fantastic live. Definitely agree with that. Alrighty, final song of the week, and we'll move on to other stuff here, which is going to be an interesting little segue tonight. But anyway, we'll get to that. In the comments, in the description box, you'll find a reference track from a band called Shotgun Mistress. This one features the great Rusty Brown from Electric Mary, and it's a song called Mary Jane. This comes from the Melbourne band's upcoming second album, Kings of the Revolution, set for release about 3 weeks from tonight. This one features, like I said, the one and only Rusty from Electric Mary doing a co-lead vocal. And funnily enough, we'll have more on this band in a moment because the Backyard Banger segment is dedicated to these guys as well. But in happy coincidence for now, though, I nominated this song this week, and it ended up taking up the #1 spot in the votes for the Patreon crew. So thank you very much for choosing my song to be #1 this week. I was quite fucking happy with that. But Jeff, it was assigned to you, so take it away.
It was. Look, what can be said about Shotgun Mistress that hasn't already been said? Not a fucking thing. These guys are great. And this song, Mary Jane, when I first heard this song, I was like, it gave me kind of warm, tingly feeling because it has this old retro vibe going on. These guys can fucking rock. It's hard to. I can't even really put this song into words. And in all fairness, I was listening to this song back and forth a lot on when I was driving to work, and then when I come home, I would just put the playlist on and just let it go. And so I was listening to it quite a bit. And then when I get home, I'd listen to it again. And love this song. This is a 10. This is a 10 for me.
Wow.
So, 10 shots. Loved it a lot. I think what they're bringing to the game needs to be it needs to they just keep doing it. I don't really I'm so fucking legless and none of it. I'm shit faced. Can't speak. just keep bringing it. Shotgun Mistress, you guys fucking rock. And I'm hoping that someday if we ever get a chance to do another you've done an interview with them, have you?
Yeah, but we are lining up another one with them as well.
I know. Yeah. I would like to be in on that because I like to have a few questions. These guys are great. Love you guys. So if you're watching, I hope you are. Keep bringing it. Love this
great
song.
People. Yeah. All right, Dave, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, Shotgun Mistress. Fuck, I love everything this band does. I will talk about more soon, but this song with Rusty from Electric Mary, can't go wrong with these two. And I would like to know how this collaboration came about.
Yeah.
It'd be a very interesting story. So when there's an interview, guys, make sure you ask that. But the song itself, it will get fuck. I had 8.5 shots, but I don't want to seem like a pussy, so I'll go full on 9 because half
Yeah.
shots are just you don't just sip a fucking shot, you're down. So 9 shots.
It's not a nip.
It's not.
All right, because Dave's going to talk, and I'll be a part of that next segment as well. But I'm going to give this a 9 as well, probably close to a 10 if I'm really being really honest. So I'm sort of that almost paralytic with this one.
Yeah.
Another song with a big hook. The songs so far, there's been a few that are released from the upcoming album. They're showing some great growth compared to the previous album. I absolutely love the riff on this song. Fuck, it's got a cool riff.
Yep.
And the duo as a vocal pair works so well together as well. When this kicks into gear, it just grabs you, it doesn't let you go. I love the rumble and the bass on this as well. It's like a heavy blues track in some ways, but it's so damn infectious. It uses all the tricks that you can think of, but it does them so well you don't even notice the bait before you're hooked. Like it's fucking just, it's bang on. It's got a great solo. The energy on this is brilliant. I love this. It's got just the right amount of grit in there as well. Sounds great, feels great, is great. Not much more to say, to be honest. We've got more to say in a second, obviously. But if you haven't checked out this band, unfuck that today because these guys are brilliant. All right, Belle, over to you.
Yeah, I gave this a 9. I'm legless. Yeah,
Nice.
awesome, perfect Aussie hard rock.
Yes.
Like you said, what more can you say? It was just fantastic. Loved it. Want to hear more? New album, bring it on.
Cool.
And Conrad?
I don't get it.
You suck.
I don't
Here we
get it.
go.
I
Okay.
don't get it. No, it's okay. It reminded me of Alice in Chains, actually, a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Or maybe I've got it confused with the.
Maybe
I might have had it confused with another. I do remember this one, but I don't know. I just thought it was so fucking cliche. With like Mary Jane. Yeah, you're talking about fucking cannabis. I mean, like, sing a fucking lyric that it's not about fucking smoking dope. I mean, it's just really been done before 1,000 times.
Just from the
done
before.
You know, it's like, come up with something original. Come up with something original. You know, it's just fucking.
There's nothing original, man. It's all been done. What, 70 years?
Well, that's the problem. That's just it. I think I'm going to go fucking form a band. Fuck it. Conquer the world.
I don't know, Conrad.
Let's form a band and conquer the world and do it better.
Karaoke. Yeah.
I do karaoke a lot, actually.
I've heard you.
Yeah, dude, form a band called Midnight Conrad. That'd be cool.
I saw you did.
Anyway, look, it was like honestly, no, it was decent. It was solid. It was decent. Yeah. So I'm gonna give this. I get to 7. It gets a 7.
Oh, you redeemed yourself.
That's okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. So look, yeah, it wasn't shite by no means. No, absolutely not.
No, cool. That's fine. That's all good.
It's a 7.
Let's see what the audience have to say. Unknown user, don't know 078. Hey, just popped in to say good night and good luck. Most importantly, have fun. Well, thank you for jumping in and saying hi.
I love it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Random people are great.
Yeah, random people are good. Michael says 9.5.
Well, that might have been one of the. We got a new person.
Maybe. So yeah,
maybe.
If you
I hope so.
Just give us a name so I know what I'm going with.
Names and location would be great.
Yeah, just general location. Yeah,
I think the location is their bed.
Just a country. Sorry, Bill?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just being stupid. I said I think their location by now is their bed. Good night.
Yeah, probably. Michael said 9.5. Jolie says totally love this song. Legends, awesome. Yeah. Vinny says 9 shots again. Good to get top spot, Andrew. Unlike the Nuggets. Yeah. That's funny, isn't it? Nuggets played a great first half.
I'm getting over the fact there's a team called Nuggets. Seriously, have a more manly name for your fucking team.
The gold Nuggets, dude.
Oh, here we go. Anyway,
a nugget.
They were mining city. Anyway, we're getting away into the weeds. Anyway, thanks, Vinny, for that reminder. Anyway, Jolly says yes, 9.5. I agree with Jeff. Vinny says Rusty is a lovely bloke. We'll take the time to chat with him, and Rusty is one of the best.
He's a good bloke. I have spoken to him. He's a good guy.
Bash says love Mary Jane 9, and also their self-titled album you put up on Spotify. Also live, they were amazing. They killed it at the Glam Fest. So there we go. They are a great band in all facets. Vinny says you're in the upside down again, Conrad. Where's the Demogorgon when you need one?
Emmy Gordon.
All righty.
Oh, dude.
Time for Backyard Bangers, as it was coined last week. Thank you for that one, people out there. This is why we love interacting with the audience. They give us the best ideas. So anyway, we're going to, in the comments and the description box, you'll find a reference track. Again, a Shotgun Mistress with the song Bleed Me Out. This one goes back to the previous album. Like I said at the previous single, this is a band that we've known and loved for a while, especially Dave and myself. We have been following these guys since the beginning. This Melbourne band have been kicking ass and taking names from the start. Their second album, Kings of the Revolution, like I was saying before, is due in about 3 weeks from now. But their self-titled debut was released back in 2021 to rave reviews from us, making it into quite a few of our top 10s for that year as well. So speaking of that original album, Dave has put together some thoughts for it. A mini review, if possible. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I stuck to mini. I restrained and I went to mini. It's hard. But
yeah, it is hard. I agree. But this
mini
is a band
hard.
we're trying to light on this week, and apparently so did a lot of you in the audience, because when we put the post up about, what Aussie band you want us to put a light on, this was the most popular, most nominated one out of all the Aussie bands that it could have been as well. So it's popular with us, popular with you out there. So we're going to give it some thoughts from now. Over to Dave. Over to you.
Oh, fuck. I'm still laughing at the whole midget hard thing. Half an inch. It's all good. But we're talking about Shotgun Mistress, so I'll try and... Okay. It has been a while since I've listened to this album. And as soon as I put on, so many songs just came back. It's like, fuck yeah. And like, what's that song called? Bleed Me Out. Yeah. And he goes, you're fucking wasted. It's like the first man's like, yeah, I'm right in there with him. So, my God, this is a cool album. The first time I'd heard anything to do with this band was live. And they left a lasting impression on me, and the songs were stuck in my head. So the anticipation for this album, when it was finally released a few months after I saw them live, was very high for me personally. So I had all these songs in my head, and I couldn't hear them again. I was just thinking back to that night. But when you come away from experiencing a live band for the first time, and then having the songs stuck in your head, you really need to have this album so you can hear them. Yeah. When a band can win an audience over live, and I saw them do it. And a lot of people were there like, who the fuck are these guys? Holy shit, bang. And as if you're a fan of classic rock bands, obviously like Guns N' Roses, I'm a fanboy. But if you like newer bands, what's coming out of Sweden, like the Cruel Intentions, I'm listening to this during the week, and I'm like, fuck, he sounds like Lizzie Divine. So I know they were on Glamfest this year, and so were the Cruel Intentions, as such a perfect fucking combination of these two local. And like I say, our bands need to leave, go to Sweden, go to England, go anywhere but us. But yeah, that shit's happening. This is not overproduced like a lot of bands became in the late 80s, early 90s. They don't have the cheesy big choruses. There's a real honest grit to this band. As much as I hate to compliment what happened in the 90s with the whole grunge shit, it stripped things down. And so you can still have the mentality from the 80s with the ideals of the less is more crap from the 90s. And 30 years later, we've got this great combination of everything together, and just people just making really cool guitar-heavy riffs, cool solos. It ticks all the right boxes for me. And it doesn't have to go pretentious or cheesy. They just get what they do across in this most amazing way. Cool songs, cool stories. And from start to finish, this album's fucking amazing. Give it 8.5. Born and Raised, Bleed Me Out, Analyze, and May She Never Walk Alone. You know the story behind that track. It's fucking heartbreaking. It's tragic. It's horrible. But the fact that they put it on this album, and the story is really important. So it's amazing. But it's a slower song at the tail end of the album. But yeah, the whole thing's amazing. This band's fantastic. I'm really stoked that they got a new album coming out. So Shotgun Mistress are fucking awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to follow it up. It's a 9 for me. This album is a 9. It was so much fun to go back to it. What was cool for me about this one, you mentioned a few bands there, Dave, but I picked up on a big Velvet Revolver vibe here and there on different tracks too. There were some tracks that put me straight
with a better singer.
Yeah, I would agree, to be honest. But it was just one of those ones where between the guitar work, the energy, and the vocals, it just had that vibe on some of the songs. Not all of them, just on some of them. What was even better, though, was seeing how many of those songs that actually stayed with me a couple of years later on. Without even listening to it in between, it was just like, okay, cool. these guys, one of the best guys, like groups of guys getting around there. They're so much fun to talk to. They're one of the best bands going around as well. They're so good at what they do. They're one of those bands that it feels like home whenever you put it on, but it has their own little twist on it. Pound for pound, these guys punch well above their weight, and I hope they have nothing but more success with the new album coming out as well. What's been super cool so far has been noticing the growth. The handful of singles, I think there's about 3 singles now or so that have been released from the new album coming out in a couple of weeks compared to the old album, how there's growth in there, and you can hear it straight away. But I just makes me want to hear the album more, because I know there'll be a surprise in there for us, and I want to hear what that is. If it's half as good as the debut album, the next album's going to be a cracker. Also, well done, like you said, Dave, on getting Rusty. He doesn't do many things like this at all. Can't even honestly recall on the top of my head. So well done on that. There are some phenomenal songs on the album, but I'm going to pick Makes You Never Walk Alone. Like you said, the story behind it is there, but that delivery of that song is just a gut punch. I love it to bits. It's so well done. Following on from this, there is a gig plug as well. So a couple here, actually. They're doing a Japan tour coming up. So they're doing a fundraiser event for it, which is Friday, May 31st, so next week, at Scotty's Garage in Frankston. They've got Shotgun Mistress playing with Carly Jewel, because they're the 2 bands that are going on tour together over in Japan. These are the last shows before they go on a 2-week tour for 9 shows in Japan. So come celebrate a cracking night with a barbecue as we raffle off some killer prizes, including a wrecked drum kit valued at $2,000, and both bands being able to perform at your next event. Once they get back from Japan, so that's what's on offer if you go there and buy some raffle tickets as well. Once they get back from Japan, you can also see them supporting Mammal, another great Aussie band, at Max Watts in Melbourne on July 19, and at the Metro Theatre in Sydney on July 20. So there we go. So get on it. Next week, we're going to do Cicada Stone. But for now, Jeff, any thoughts on what you heard with this week when it came to Shotgun Mistress beyond the single we did before?
No, I like this. So as I said, I put this playlist on. I just let it play. Right? And so when I got to this, I was going through the drive-thru at KFC. I was on the way home from. I wanted something. I wanted some chicken. I was in the mood for some chicken. Anyway, and I fucking like, whoa, because I didn't even know it was just playing. Right? I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I'm like, this is awesome. And then I didn't know, because I had the navigation thing going on my screen on my car.
Yep.
And so how it works is, if it's dedicated to just like the music or whatever that's playing, it will show the whole thing all the time. But if it's doing the navigation, what it does is it comes up and just shows you the song at the top, and then it's gone, and then it goes back to the navigation. So I didn't know what it was, but I was like, fuck, because I'd never heard it. I'd never heard it. And so I'm listening to it. I'm like, well, this is fucking great. And so I listened to it all the way home. And then when I got in the house, I was so fucking, unpacking my shit and eating what I was. And I listened to it all. I was like, wow, these are really, I put it on my soundbar thing that I've got, which is awesome. And it fucking, the sound thing, this is the Polk thing. And it's fucking, I told you, it's got like 11 speakers on it. It's fucking insane. And so I had like, that's the beautiful thing about it. The sound is like all over, it wraps around you. Beautiful. Fucking loved it. Had it cranked up. And so it went down a treat with my chicken nuggets and popcorn chicken. So I really liked it. So what the fuck is happening here? We're falling apart.
Wow. Dave back in a second.
Dave is back. Conrad,
he'll be back in a moment.
His mandatory crotch shot, and we're doing well. So I really liked it. It was good. If that's what you wanted, like I said, it was good food and good music, and they go together well. So yeah.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna mute that one quickly. Cool. Belle, any thoughts on this? Did you get around to listen to it at all? Or
I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't listen to anything. Didn't listen to anything this year. I really only listened to the stuff today. But I hadn't already heard.
No, that's all right. It was even touching I could even make it tonight. I know that, so I'm just.
That's right. I'm sitting on the damn floor. Yeah. I wanted to be here, so it was all a big.
That's all good. Do what you can.
I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it.
We'll check it out. Well, I don't know if Conrad can hear me. Conrad, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Did you have any thoughts on this album? Did you check it out at all, or are we going to just move on to the next segment?
Only the song that we looked at earlier. Sorry, my bad.
I'm just gonna grab it. Sorry.
It's
Oh, do
all
you need me
good.
to stay? Am I? Do
No,
I
you
have
go and get your
a minute?
drink, and I'm gonna do a bit of preamble in the next segment. So I'll be able to pad the hour, wait for everyone to come back in anyway. It's like a mini stream break as we
It
go
is.
through things here because everyone's sort of coming and going. All right,
That's it. You're fired. You didn't listen to it. You're fired. You're sacked.
I'm hoping one being fired.
Sling your hook, motherfucker. Sling your hook.
Well, we got some audience comments to go through as well. So let's do this one. So when it came to the backyard banger, of course, Rowan says, "You mean the second best idea for a name? The best name idea was Barry, if I recall correctly."
Yeah.
Yes, Rowan. We know it was Barry.
Barry.
Backyard Bazzer. There we go.
Backyard banger. Does she bang like a dunny door on a windy day?
When you're sitting like that, Conrad, you may want to rethink that statement. So that was, and then Michael said, until they come up with backyard bangers. Sorry, man. So there we go. Vinny says it's like a stream of ventriloquism tonight. Well, we're all over the joint. And Michael says, Shotgun Mistress on my radar because of THRS. I would not have known of them, and that is fantastic for us to hear.
That's
and
awesome.
That's the whole point of what we do here. That is exactly why we love what we do.
I say the same thing.
Yeah, we love getting it out there, and like I said before, when someone was saying they're going to put an album on their to buy list, that's probably the highest compliment we can ever hope for here. If we can show someone some music and they go and spend their money on it, then that's the single best thing that anyone can compliment wise go for. All right, over now. While we wait for others to come back in, I'm going to preamble and pad things out here with the Builder playlist game we've been doing. We're going through the Led Zeppelin albums and going through picking songs and getting the audience to vote on those songs as we go through things. So for round one, we did Led Zeppelin 1, and we had Conrad took Communication Breakdown, Dave took Bad I'm Gonna Leave You, I took Good Times, Bad Times, Bell took Days Confused, Jeff, You Shook Me was his choice, which ended up with Conrad out in front on 50 points, and back at the end of the line was Jeff and myself tied in last place thereafter. That week was done, which leads us into round two, which was last week's selections. So as it stood, we had a score of Jeff and myself on 15, Dave on 30, Bell on 40, and Conrad on 50. Basically, we score it out. Whoever gets the most popular choice amongst the audience votes is, it just tears down from there. Round two is Led Zeppelin 2. We did this one last week. So the draft order for that was Jeff, who took Heartbreaker. Conrad took Whole Lot of Love. Dave took Thank You. I took Ramble On. And Bell took What Is and What Should Never Be. So those were the choices there for this particular one to go through. So in the votes, this one ended up being a little bit interesting. It ended up being that Bell, which is unfortunate when you're going last, you tend to cop a bit of the. I'm just going to unmute you there, Dave. Sorry, just had to mute you because you're walking around. I knew that door was going to fucking squawk at us.
Did you hear that shit? I gotta turn the fucking camera and the mic off next time. Sorry.
No, I
thought camera would automatically mute the mic.
No, it didn't. So I could hear you walking around. So I'm going to mute that because I know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
I'm just recapping round two here. So Bell, like I was saying, unfortunately, you're the last one to pick, which I am in this round coming up. You tend to sort of take whatever's left over. And Bell took What Is and What Should Never Be. She got 10 points for that one. Dave, you came in fourth place. You got 20 points for Thank You.
You people suck.
Here we go. And then Jeff, you came in third with Heartbreaker on 30 points, which put it down to the two tracks, Whole Lot of Love as chosen by Conrad and Ramble On as chosen by myself. I took the chocolate. So Conrad, you got 40 points for Whole Lot of Love, and I got 50 points for Ramble On, which changes the scoring up for the week here. So last week, you'll recall that Conrad was out in front. Conrad is still out in front, but he's up on 90 points now. I've gone from last place to second place on 65.
Holy leapfrogging.
And I know. Bella's up in middle on 50, Dave on 50 as well. So those two are a tie. And Jeff, you're still riding the caboose back there on 45 points. But there's not much in it.
I'd rather be in the rear. I'd rather be in the rear than in the front getting it, if you know what I'm saying.
Dude, I'm too fucked up to make any sense of that.
Yeah, well,
all right. Anyway, we're going to keep moving along. So as we rotate through things, what happens is the person who picked last the week before gets to go first in the new week. So Bell, you get to go first this week. So what are you taking from Led Zeppelin 3 to go to the audience and vote on?
Immigrant Song.
Yeah, I figured that much. It had to be. It had
That's all I need
to be.
to say.
You'd be crazy to not pick that song if you're going first.
And I love that song, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I often play it when I'm DJing. I play it when I DJ.
It'll go right.
It always goes down really well as well when I put it on. Place erupts. It's great.
It's an iconic track. I remember when I was doing my audio degree, we had to splice tape. We were splicing 1/4-inch tape, and I had to splice the riff for this one to try and make a permanent loop of the riff for this song. And we were using it in that context as well. So the Immigrant Riff was was one of the when I was learning to splice tape, and that will never ever go away from my mind. So it's a great song, all-time classic. I completely agree. But Jeff, you get the next pick. So what are you taking at number 2?
A shame, because I come from the land of fucking ice and snow. Okay,
you do. Well done.
All right. Yeah. So look, this album. I was listening because I haven't listened in a while, right? Like when you go through every song, and I knew I had a feeling Immigrant Song would go first. I did. It was like okay, and as it should. Great song, very iconic. But then I was like, well, there's a couple songs that jump out at me. Actually, 3 songs. There's Friends, Since I've Been Loving You, and Tangerine. All of those songs I love. And for me, it's actually probably going to come down between what I should take and what I will take. I probably should take Since I've Been Loving You, but I'm going to take Friends.
Nice. Cool.
Okay? Yeah. So I'm leaving Since I've Been Loving You. I'm sure someone will snap that up quick. It's a great song.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Cool. Moving on. Conrad gets 3rd choice here. So which way are you going?
I think the one I'm more familiar with is Out on the Tiles, I think. So
okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great song too. Yeah, I do love that one personally. It's a favorite of mine.
Yep.
Alrighty. Dave, there are some good ones left. So which way are you leaning?
Is he blowing a gasket? Is he blowing a gasket or something?
It looks like it.
Yeah, I have. Because honestly, I thought whoever went first would have had to have picked Immigrant Song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously, Since I've Been Loving You, I'm 4th. How is this not picked?
So
I kind of accepted that I wasn't going to get to pick that. And I'm really partial to Gallows Pole. So I'm torn between these two because I should pick Since I've Been Loving You, but Gallows Pole's a fucking great song.
My favorite of the two.
Especially on the Page and Plant unleaded, unplugged.
Yeah, that was great. Wasn't that good? That was a highlight.
Fuck it. Gallows Pole. I'm going with that.
Wow. Wow. Okay. That puts me in a fucking
That's
blind
great
now.
storytelling.
It does, doesn't it?
But then so Since I've Been Loving You. Fuck.
I know. It's just such an iconic song.
I know. And the thing is, I'm in the same boat now because now I'm like, I didn't think that'd be there. But there's another song that hasn't been even mentioned yet that I fucking love on this album that no one's mentioned until now. And that's Celebration Day.
Yeah.
No one's mentioned it. It's the 2nd track on the 3rd track on the album, sorry, and fuck, it's been one of my favorites for a long, long time. So I'm going to take it because
go with your heart. That's what you do. That's what I did last week.
Nobody picks Since I've Been Loving You.
Yeah, I know.
If I could pick 2, they would be the 2.
Well, the thing is, I didn't think it'd be there, and I'm like, okay.
How good is this fucking album?
I honestly didn't think Celebration Day would be there. To be honest, I thought that I was surprised. So
you know what? This album, it wasn't all that crash hot when it came out because they had one rock song and the rest was just this isn't what other rock bands are doing.
Side 2, like the side B is a bit of a trip on this one, but it's a good album though. It's got everything you want from these guys, and what it does is it shows how they're progressing as their journey goes on as well, which I think is really, really cool.
In a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Short amount of time. 3 albums in 2 years. Fuck.
Yeah. Bang, bang, bang.
And all different, all fantastic. Fuck.
Yeah. Which is cool. So that'll be interesting. So just to recap here, Bell took Immigrant Song, which, we all knew that go first. Jeff took Friends. Conrad took Out on the Tiles. Dave took Gallows Pole, and I took Celebration Day. No choice for Since I've Been Loving You. So that's going to make the poll really interesting now.
There'll be comments in the. There'll be comments in the.
There are now. I'm going to go through
This is my favorite. Yeah.
I went with my favorite. That's what I did. I did that last week.
Speaking of, Kevin's gone, Since I've Been Loving You off Led Zeppelin 3 would be my choice. There we go. Straight off the bat. Guru's gone, greetings, omnipotent hanging rockers. Good to see you again, Guru. Good to see you as always. Basher says, great choice, Jeff. Friends, great track. Yeah. And since Guru says Phil Lynott is God, we are getting to that. Shotgun Mistress are here.
Look at me, friends.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And how good is Audio Rain? Both bands are fantastic.
Yes,
good to see you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Everything we said is genuine because you know us. We will tell you things take care of ourselves.
We're too fucking drunk to lie.
Pretty much. We can't keep things together in that regard. All righty. I do know that.
So I got to interrupt because that's what I do. But we spoke briefly about Page and Plant Unleaded in 1995.
Yeah.
There's a song, I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but there's a moment where Robert Plant is just kind of thinking. He's staring off into space. It's called Wonderful One. I would love to know what he's thinking because, my God, that's a fucking moment right there. Yeah, if you haven't seen that shit, check it out.
No, sorry. Great. I haven't seen it in years, but it is great. Yep.
All right. So we're going to move on to, but like I was saying, Shotgun Mistress, everything we said is well deserved. You guys are great. We love the music. So well done.
Yes.
And everyone get around Shotgun Mistress and everything else we're talking about tonight. Be it old
get on them. See him in the street, just jump on them.
Right. That would be interesting.
This video. Canadian loves you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I am your buddy guy.
I am your buddy guy. Yes, I am.
I know I'm being mindful of time because Conrad needs to head out shortly. Let's see if we can do this one and then we can get Conrad's choice on the King of the Riff before we do this one. We're going to go back to Guess the Song. We've done the round of Who Am I Album Edition, Who Am I This and That. So we're going to go back to Guess the Song because we're going to take a mid-year break in a few weeks. So I want to make this one, we're sort of on the downhill slope toward taking a quick little break for a couple of weeks. We have some stuff planned, don't worry, but just wanted to get some things out of the way. So we're going to go back to Guess the Song, which is where one of us reads out lyrics and the other people have to guess it, and we'll see who gets there first in the comments between you guys in the audience and us here on the show. We get one guess each, and basically it's a case of Jeff will go through some lyrics. He did say it was going to be hard and was offering to give us a clue of the band. We all said no, so let's see how much he can fuck with their heads now. Jeff, it is over to you with Guess the Song, so start reading out lyrics, and let's see how we go with this.
All right. So there's still a long way to go, and the nights are closing in. But if I traveled any faster, babe, Lord knows where I might have been. Right from those early days, I put my faith in the axle, not the wheels. Like old Zeno's Toitus, with Achilles snapping at my heels.
I know this.
Don't worry, there's no hurry. Here we are, and then the name of the song. If I could have been a high-flying dealer, but I could have been a high-flying dealer, but I have no desire for speed. I could have been a wide receiver, but I've got everything I need.
Oh, fuck.
And so I watched the world go racing by, tearing up the street. I lay back in the long grass. Take it easy and rest my feet. Don't worry, you know, there's no hurry. Here we are with, and then the name of the song. No one ever held me back. You know that no one ever put me in chains. No one ever saw me racing ahead. No one had to tug at my reins. As everybody knows, I may be slow, but I never quit. Sometimes on a good day, I sit and think, and sometimes I just sit. Don't worry, relax, there's no hurry. Here we are with, and then the name of the song, and that's it.
Oh, I know it's an American band because the wide receiver reference.
Are we going to know this?
I don't think I know it.
Should. We should. I think
I can
most of
tell
us-
you this song was a hit from this band, and I'll tell you they're not an American band.
Really?
I will give you a
Okay.
hint. I'll give you one clue. They are a British band.
British band. Now now give us the band name.
Do you want the band name? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because I said it was going to be tough, and it is. This was a hit single. The band, Deep Purple.
No. Fuck.
Really?
Maybe I made it too tough. I was going through it. This song is one of the songs when it comes on, I fucking sing along with it because I love it so much.
Is it on
Speed Demon? Is it Speed Demon?
No, it's later. It's later than that.
Yeah.
It is much later than that. In
It's
fact,
fucking.
it came out
It's
in the after 2010. I'll say after 2010.
yeah.
Oh,
It's not perpendicular, is it? It's later than that.
No, that came out in '95, I think.
Yeah, it's not. It's not nine. It's not
I'm not gonna
bananas.
know this.
Not from So What? Or whatever it
No.
is. Or What Now? Or that one?
Wow.
Ooh, Andrew, you may be on something.
I give up. I can't do it. I have heard it.
Yeah, Andrew he's hitting all around the.
I'm
hammer.
close. That's why I know.
You're
Because I
very
reviewed the album, but I
close.
can't remember
Yeah.
the song title.
Look, all right,
All right, I'm
I'll
done.
give you. You guys, everyone's out, or are you guys still gonna go?
I'm out.
All right, so
I'm out.
what I'll do is I'll read the chorus, and I'll
Yep.
include the name.
Yep.
So it says, "Don't worry, you know there's no hurry. Here we are, with all the time in the world."
Yeah, that's it. Yep. I knew it. I was just like, fuck, because
You reviewed it, didn't you, Andrew?
I reviewed it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
one
Back
of my
in
favorites.
you Dennis and Jimmy times.
Yeah.
Dave, if you haven't listened to this album and sat down with your guitar, do
Yeah.
it, my friend.
Yes.
How did the audience go?
It's
Yeah.
great.
How did the audience?
Yeah.
How did the audience go?
Everyone
So I
get
had
it.
to find out. No, here we go. Well, Vinny says, "Shocker Mistress, welcome to the toilet cam. We're just waiting on his next release." So there we go. Conrad, wants to know what the audience is saying. That's what the audience is saying. So there we go.
Conrad's next release is a Limp Bizkit album.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, but on this note, Kevin is the know-it-all because he got it. Deep Purple all the time in the world. Well done,
Kevin, man, you're
He
a
got
legend.
it
Well done.
3 minutes ago. So way back.
Nice job, dude.
Well
Fucking
done.
yeah, that guy
this
knows
is
his
how Steve
fucking.
Lawrence
He is the
Good
trivia
point.
fucking king,
Good
man.
point. That's a very
Well
good pick
done.
up there, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well done.
I should have
Joey
used that
said that
clue.
was
I should have
changed.
said the
No, it
American.
wasn't. So there we go. But at least someone had a guess. But I knew it. I just like I couldn't get there because I reviewed it when it came in, but haven't.
Yeah, look,
the one
I
I saw
chose it
the
on
album.
purpose because it's one of my favorites.
We
and that
listen to a lot of
album-
music, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
More than average.
I knew you
We're
could
gonna-
not have went and not
Yeah.
reviewed.
Hold on, we got
I'm gonna have to
do something here 'cause
bail.
Conrad needs to bolt. So,
Yeah, soon. Soon.
just quickly, do you have any thoughts? We're going to get to it in a moment. Just let me make a quick note here. Otherwise, I'll forget and I'll be fucked later. So next up is King of the Riff segment. I know that Conrad needs to get a wriggle on. So just for those playing along at home, the reference tracks are in the description box. You have AC/DC, Lotta, Rosie, and you have Thin Lizzy, Rosalie.
Oh,
The track
Rosie.
live tracks from. This is round 3 of this season of King of the Riff, which is focusing on live albums as voted by the audience. Today is Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous, which is the 3rd seed released in 1978 versus AC/DC, If You Want Blood, You've Got It, which was the 6th seed, also released in 1978. In a funny twist of fate, Conrad, I actually had you pegged to go first anyway. So did you want to give us any thoughts you have on this one before you need to get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, both of these are like in the Himalayas as far as live albums are concerned. These are definitely in the monstrous, mountainous, albums in live out. As far as live rock records go, these are definitely in the Himalayas. And it's very hard. I can only, one only gets it by a bee's dick. But it's too much of a behemoth. It's too much of a mountain of a record to ignore. And that's going to none other than...
Yes!
Well done.
There you are. That's it. Live and Dangerous. I've actually got a flag for it. I've got a flag for that. Should I
Wow.
forgot about that?
How fucking cool is that album cover?
It's a good
I know. I'm gonna grab it because I DJ when I do my rock nights. I put flags up all around the venue.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
I put loads of flags up at the venues that I DJ at, and
Wow.
I have a flag for that.
Bloody
It's
hell.
in the toilet.
That's all right.
It's fun.
He's got a baggie and he's in the toilet. That's gonna go well. So just that out there. Just going through some. I'll go. Yeah, no. This. Oh wow. There's gonna be. This is gonna be an interesting one. Going through. Just quickly skimming the comments. Just skimming
Pandora's
the
bag.
Wow, it's like Mary Poppins. It's just.
Yeah. I got a lot of flags. I got a lot of flags. I put them up around the venues when as I said, when I put my nights on, just to give the place a bit more atmosphere, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Still in all his glory. Yes.
Yeah, that is a great. It is a great shot. Like that is one of the best live photos that you can ever hope
Absolutely.
to get.
It just, it says it all. You know, it does exactly what it says on the tin. You know,
there's absolutely no fucking post in that shot. That was just a live shot.
Yeah,
and somebody, camera guys, just
at the moment in the 70s. Like that's the thing too. Like the technology was very different then, so you had to get it right. The focus had to be right the whole lot, and
moment in time.
Yeah, perfect skill. That was just a great moment. Cool. Well, is there anything else you want to share with us, Conrad, before you have the scooter? Because you got to go to a festival today.
Yeah, I've got to go off to a festival and work on a festival. So I've got to run. No, I'll see you all next week. Lovely for you to tune in. Thanks to anyone new that tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the show. And drink up and rock on. We'll see you next week.
Awesome, mate. Thank you. We got there in the end too. We managed to time that perfectly. So well done. Thanks again. Have fun at the festival, man. Enjoy the show.
No worries. Cheers.
Cool. Thanks, man. All righty. We'll keep moving on. So it's one vote in for Thin Lizzy already. That's how we have started things off tonight. So next up, we're going to throw to Jeff. Which way are you going on this battle?
All right. Well, I've written my dissertation. Here we go. Just give me a second.
No pressure at all.
No pressure at all. Yeah.
Got to follow Conrad and these flags.
I know. I don't know how I'm going to follow that. It's a hell of a segue. All right. Now, one thing I did notice you ran out, Andrew. Now, maybe it was just my research, but AC/DC, If You Want Blood, You've Got It, 1978. But I thought that Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous was 77. Can you have a look on your CD, Dave? What does it say?
Released 78.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that could be. I don't know. So I had him a year. Dave, what's it say on the CD?
It's remastered, dude. It's probably not 1995.
No, that's the
you got
78 World Tour. All tracks recorded during the 78 World Tour for this.
And now look at Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy 78.
There we go. So it must have been recorded in 77, but came out in 78. That makes sense.
How good were the fucking 70s, man?
I was just wondering because I thought maybe I was reading the information was wrong.
Now recorded November 76 and October 77, apparently.
All right. Okay.
At a few different places.
Yes.
And released in 78. That's what it says.
That's fine.
Yeah, they've done it well.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, here we go. On with the show. So, AC/DC, If You Want Blood, You Got It, and Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous. So, I'll be honest. I have not heard either of these albums in years and years. Decades, in fact, in all honesty.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And so I'm pretty sure the album that I remember the most, to be honest, is between the two is If You Want Blood, You Got It. A relatively short live album, 10 songs, 53 minutes.
Especially in this fucking list of albums.
It doesn't waste any time. It gets straight to the point. And between the two albums presented here tonight, I think it feels more genuine as it was recorded entirely in one venue, the Apollo Theatre in Glasgow. And many would argue that AC/DC is that this early period is probably the best era of the band when they were at the purest. You know, Bon Scott. There's a lot of people that huge Bon Scott versus
Yeah, that's
Brian
a
Johnson. That's another argument, obviously, and it comes down to preference, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say that this live album captures that feeling very, very well. This live feeling, it does, and I think that that this is a live band that's really not yet at their peak, but they're edging closer. You know, and this is a wonderful dive into their catalog. So whereas Live and Dangerous, 17 tracks, 76 minutes, this has the length of what one might expect if you went to a live concert.
Yeah.
And so you don't really feel like you're getting shortchanged here at all. Whereas I think AC/DC, I think it's a little bit short, 10 songs, a little bit short. Now, both of these bands have something in common. Both bands have massive fans that adore them. Both bands feature prominent lead singers who are sadly no longer with us.
Yeah.
Both victims of their own excess of success. Now, can you remember how many times I've just used the word both? Shout out to whoever gets it right. Okay. So on the Thin Lizzy side of things, on the Thin Lizzy side of things, we got Live and Dangerous. The band is playing at various places on their tour, but they managed to capture an overall feeling of a live album recorded in one venue. It actually sounds to me like it was recorded in one spot, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
And this energy carries over very well from track to track. I listened to these albums actually back to back while driving to and from work, starting with Live and Dangerous and coming home with If You Want Blood, You Got It. And after a particularly bad day at work, this theme fucking fit very well. So yeah. Now, one advantage Live and Dangerous has over the other is it actually contains many of the band's hits all in one place. Whereas by 1978, this would be a full year before AC/DC would strike pay dirt with 1979's massive Highway to Hell, and thus missing some key final Bon Scott gems that would come from that album. But despite this, the album does capture the band's live show well, even though it's missing some questionable hits. Where the hell is Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, TNT, Jailbreak, Ride On, and It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll? They're not there. What the fuck? And they were,
to be honest, I've never heard Bond do those live. I've never heard Bond do Dirty Deeds live. I've got a lot of bootlegs.
I don't know, but I would have thought that those songs, because they were all hits, that they would have been there. I would have thought that, and maybe that's why the album is so short, 10 songs.
Well, it's also a case that they weren't really, what we consider to be an arena band at this point either.
No, this is true. But I think the omission of these classics doesn't do this album any favors, really.
Okay.
But the same cannot be said for Live and Dangerous. This album doesn't skimp out. Includes pretty much all their hits up to that point. Well, with Live and Dangerous, there's been a debate about the overdubs that may or may not have been done, but it really doesn't matter because what we get treated to is arguably one of the greatest live albums ever recorded by anyone. This album is just fucking unbelievable. And maybe if AC/DC had actually included those songs that I just mentioned, then maybe, just maybe, it might have elevated this album from being great to amazing. And as a result, I would have chosen differently, but it didn't, and I'm not. Live and Dangerous for the win.
Wow. Yeah. All right. This is going to be interesting.
Mic drop. Yep.
So that just means Thin Lizzy needs one more to take it out, which is going to make this interesting. And it's funny because I did a pre-draw, and Dave was supposed to go next.
Well, hey,
I would put money on his choice.
Yeah, I know. All right, so I'm going to go, and then we'll see how it works out from there. So I'll go all the way for that. Now, last week and in the weeks, I've always made a point that live albums to me should feel like you're at a show, and both of these albums do just that. So credit to both albums for you again. They're both fantastic. And I personally found this battle incredibly tough. I don't think it's easy at all to get through both of these and really pick a winner. They both sound great. They both feel great. They both feel like you're at a live show. They're both well performed, well captured, well presented. It's funny the disparity in the polling for seeding for me, like in my perspective, just listening to these albums and going, okay, one's 3, one's 6. What's the difference here? And in that note, it's also worth noting the opinions in the comments online and the post we put up, asking for the votes on this one, because some people found it tough. Darren, looking at you, but also other ones were very much, it's this album, and they were adamant. But that was the same for both bands, so it wasn't like there was one that was a clear winner. And Belle, you've got the final tally as well. It was fuck all in it at the end too. So people that were really adamant were convinced it was their album, but at the same time, it was going to be, but it was like really lopsided. But that lopsidedness was still split down the middle in the audience polling. For me, this was even harder than last week. I thought last week was hard. This was the hardest one yet. Both bands are pretty much getting toward the peak of their powers, and it shows. Both are at also sort of relatively similar points in their career. I know that Thin Lizzy may be further along a little bit, but at the same time, AC/DC, in terms of volume of output and all that kind of stuff, they aren't that far apart from each other. What do we got here? Where they differ is in style, which is clear, and that's what's going to separate this is purely going to come down to taste for me. Again, they're both in albums. I've reviewed and spoken about these albums in the past. Dave, you and I have both done Thin Lizzy before that special. We've also done AC/DC in the past as well. I was happy to go back to either of these albums this time around, and I'll be happy to go back to whichever one wins again as well. Like, I love both of them. There's no problem here. But like I said, this was a tough little battle to get through. One of these is really clean and crisp. The other one is just outright mean. It's polish and performance of one versus the outright grit and bite of the other one. Both have great set lists for me. It's funny, Jeff, you mentioned those hits. I didn't miss them at all. I really didn't miss them. I thought that it was fine. It was a great set list, to be honest. But for me, it's got some of my favorite tracks in there as well, which makes it a bit easier to go into. Both keep you locked in from beginning to end, regardless of the disparity in length. Like last week, this is going to come down to the smallest of details for me to try and pick a winner out of this one. It just comes down to what you want and what you're going to reach for first, ultimately, and you're going to go with your gut. For me, it took a minute, but once I settled into both these albums, I knew which way I was going to lean on things. But that said, I love them both dearly. And even though you're going to choose one, it kind of breaks your heart to do it, kind of thing. Because if you were forced to listen to one and the other one never again, fuck, that'd be heartbreaking. Yeah. Like, these are both great albums. But what sold me at the end of the day was one had slightly better crowd interaction and also turned the 12-bar blues into something outright nasty, which I fucking love to bits. I'm talking about the moment of the Jack and the way it bled into Problem Child for me. That was the clincher. That little moment of the set was, and they're two of my favorite songs of all time from AC/DC. So like you talk about the hits that were missing. I'm like, I got what I wanted. If you want, I got what I wanted out of that album. I love them both, and it was hard, but that was, you have to find the smallest differences to pick a winner for no other reason than that at all. Like, it's just literally going to come down to that. I'm going to go with my heart, even though it sort of breaks your heart to do it. But I'm going to go with AC/DC, If You Want Blood. So that gives it 2-1 as it stands now. So Dave, I don't know if you heard it before, but Jeff went with Thin Lizzy as well. So it's 2-1 at this point in time. So Dave, I'm going to give you the choice because I did draw you to go before me actually, but because of you were gone, I figured I'd just move on.
Yeah, I had to do research. Why do I worry about this shit? We come up with these battles and these bands that I fucking love that I've been listening to for 20, 30, 40 fucking years. And I worry about it all week. I've been doing it for like almost a year with this. And all I gotta do is just fucking get drunk and just talk about things that I love. It's not hard. I don't have to fucking make notes. And, it's Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous, against AC/DC, If You Want Blood. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've been listening to this album for 30 years. I've been listening to this one for 20. Jeff mentioned his talk on AC/DC, so I had to go and grab these two. This is from the Bon Scott Bonfire box set. And both of these shows are better than If You Want Blood, You Got It.
Okay.
And this one doesn't have Let There Be Rock. Now, that's a fucking massive hit. They didn't play it at this one. This is still a fantastic show, and this is way better than If You Want Blood, You Got It. And you know why? Bon Scott's fucking trashed. He's so pissed out of his mind. And it's so fucking great.
Yeah.
And then there's this behemoth motherfucker.
Yeah.
And if you've seen the video that goes along with this is AC/DC at their peak, man. And like the induction of Girls Got Rhythm and Hello in a Bad Place to Be and Shot Down in Flames. This is from the Highway to Hell tour. This is Bon, and my God, what a fucking loss it was when he died. He died the year I was born, and I didn't even know. Like, it took 10 years for me to discover AC/DC. And it's like when you become an AC/DC fan and you get this music under your skin, it's like losing a dude that's been dead for 10 years. And that's what happened to me with Thin Lizzy, because when I became a Thin Lizzy fan, I had no idea Phil was dead. I knew they weren't touring. I became a massive Thin Lizzy fan, and it's just like, fuck, they're never going to reform. I'm never going to get a chance to see this band. And it was fucking heartbreaking. And before I even get to my notes, I'm going to hold up this, because this is a massive stretch. It says, recorded Thin Lizzy's iconic historic performance at the Rainbow. Now, if you look on Spotify, there was one song on Alive and Dangerous that was from the Rainbow. Yet they put this on the DVD. Most is from the Hammersmith Odeon. Any Thin Lizzy is fantastic. Most people will consider this to be the best Thin Lizzy lineup of all time. I consider it one of many. I am a massive Thin Lizzy fan. Everything from when Gary Moore is in the band to when Snowy White is in the band to when John Sykes is in the band. They could do no wrong. How many bands almost get there and then something bad happens? Hepatitis, broken hands, just fucking bad luck. But they kept getting another shot. No other band gets that, and they never got that star to superstar level, and they fucking deserved it because they never gave up. Right. Notes. This is a cool matchup. The 70s was such a cool, diverse, creative time in rock music and music in general. You could check out like the most cliched, like can't think of any titles at the moment, but all those TV shows that showcased all the different bands, and you could have Countdown. You would have ABBA one moment and AC/DC the next. You had time for every style of music. It doesn't happen anymore.
All that sort of stuff
bands,
as well.
And whatever genre you played in, there were 20 different bands that all sounded different, but all were part of the same package. And they had their own things going on, and they all came. And these bands, AC/DC, Thin Lizzy, all came under the heading of rock. Now you have 20 fucking bands that all sound the same because they're using the whole sound fucking cliche audio packages on their fucking laptops. How can people listen to that shit? Honestly. AC/DC, straight up, raw, in your face rock and roll, often imitated but never bettered. They're one of the first bands I ever listened to growing up as a kid, and I want to get the dollar the bill from Money Talks. That's the patch that's going to go on the top of the jacket above Appetite, because that needs to be there.
Wow.
They were quickly an obsession as a young kid. My introduction was Blow Up Your Video, and then obviously Razor's Edge. Those two fucking albums were the soundtrack of my youth. And AC/DC through my teens into my 20s, got the boombox, got every fucking album, listened to them over and over. It will always be a favorite band. No bullshit, pure fun. You cannot go wrong with AC/DC. I could not even guess how many times I've listened to this live album. I've probably continued. It's probably part of the reason why I love live albums, because you have the albums that you love, and then that live energy that's captured on these things, and they're mostly a greatest hits set, and then you get that whole element of something more, the crowd interaction, the band just being on, and Bon is at the top of his game on this. The band just sounds tight. Angus rips out these awesome solos. They seem just straightforward, but when you try and learn these things, they're not as simple as you think. You learn fucking pentatonic blues scale. It should be simple, but what he does with that is just like, you're not human, dude. And there was an energy to this live album that studio albums just don't have. There will always be very much a live album, a live band. This and live at Donington, 10 years later on the Razor's Edge tour. That's how I want to remember AC/DC. I have no interest in seeing them in 2024. Let it go.
Fair enough.
Thin Lizzy. I could talk about Thin Lizzy for hours. It is so easy for me to get off topic with this band. And I did that when I wrote the first draft of this review, and I cut this down a lot because fucking hell, even I bored the shit out of myself. I'm going to focus on this album. But with Thin Lizzy, if you're listening to the studio albums or listening to Thin Lizzy live, it is really hard not to get caught up in the stories that Phil Lynott is sharing with us. He has a remarkable way of creating not just characters, locations, and situations. He paints enough of a picture for the listener to be able to fill in the gaps and to fully understand what's going on. And it's really hard to do as a storyteller, as a singer, as a songwriter, any way that you can create a story for you to give enough to your audience to be able to fill in the gaps and fully understand what's going on with the character, situation, and moment is really hard to do. And these stories are timeless. They're 40 fucking years old, and they have not dated at all. His songs are inspired by either history, or he's created a character to explore an idea, or he's sharing a personal story in a tender ballad. He is so underrated as a singer. You really don't hear many people talking about the way he uses his voice to tell stories that's filled with passion and soul and emotion. And when you talk about the 70s, people will say Ozzy or Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. This like Thin Lizzy are not the go-to band from the 70s, but ever since I discovered them 20 years ago, I will tell people that I meet, Thin Lizzy are the best band in the 70s, and they'll look at me like I got two fucking heads, like I'm from Tasmania. Sorry, Bell.
Bell catching strays here for no fucking
I
reason.
deserve that.
Like, wow.
But to be honest, man, when you say Thin Lizzy are the best band from the 70s, people will not believe you until they are forced to listen to their albums. And it's like, holy fuck, why is this band not bigger? Why didn't people not pay more attention to this fucking band?
Yeah.
They really should. Because once again, once I said 20 minutes ago, they never got to that level. They're more than the boys are back in town. They are more than the whiskey in the jar. There's so many great songs in these fucking albums. That's why Phil, and so that's my spiel on Phil Lynott. And Thin Lizzy weren't just one man. They were a band, and they were a fucking awesome band. You had Scott Gorham, you had Brian Downey on drums and guitar, and you had a recurring duo of guitarists, and they play with some amazing. Eric Bell, Brian Robertson, Snorri White, and John Sykes. You know those guys, holy shit.
Gary Moore.
Gary Moore. I did not mention Gary Moore. Fuck me.
No,
Fuck me. What? I can't. I suck. I quit. I'll just leave. Okay. I can't talk about Thin Lizzy without mentioning the harmonized guitar solos. And let's be honest, you would not have Iron Maiden and Judas Priest if you didn't have Thin Lizzy. And an even lesser known band, Wishbone Ash. You don't know them, get on them, because holy fuck, between those two bands, you wouldn't have heavy metal as you know it today. Because even bands like Trivium are doing these harmonized guitar solos. On top of having a fantastically cool guitar solo in each band, you got these harmonized leads. And they're like the extra icing on the cake. That's like those balls of frosting that you get around the edge. It's like, yes, sweet tooth shit right there. And they're just as memorable as Luke. You can sing or hum or just fucking tap along with this shit.
Yeah.
Along with Alive from Kiss, I think this album would be the most debated and discussed as to what is actually live. It depends on who you ask. I've seen so many documentaries. Some will say, yeah, it's as it was. And some will say, none of it's live. I don't care. Even if it's filled with overdubs, it captures that live energy. It's nothing like what you get on the album.
Right.
Convincing. Yeah,
it's convincing. And it's from 2 nights at Hammersmith Odeon. It's from a sound check at one of the shows for Southbound, and it's from the Rainbow. But it just flows perfectly. You can just immerse yourself in it. It flows perfectly. It's a great set list, diverse collection of their biggest songs, as well as a couple of their lesser-known songs. And that's what's cool about a live concert. You get an album track or something you didn't know, and you go back and you go and explore the albums previous. That's what you need to do as a band to keep your brand moving forward, and you bring people going back, and it all comes forward. Get my hand movements. And there's different tempos, different song structures. There's some all-out rockers. There's some laid-back stuff with space. Some are slow. and the audience participation, the clapping, the singing, it's just fantastic. The version of Dancing in the Moonlight is fantastic. I don't know about anybody else, but I can picture this character and I can get what he's singing about. The whole chocolate stains on my pants, the walking home alone late at night. In his head and his heart, he's got dreams and he's nothing but happy. Even though you know he's working class kid, he's got fuck all to be happy about. But he just, in that moment, and Phil captures that. It's really fucking special.
Storyteller.
Where
one of the great poets in music.
This album cover to this day, I remember seeing posters of this when I was a little kid. I had no idea who this band was. I had no idea how much of an impact it was going to have on my life. When I was like 10, I saw Guns N' Roses live at the Ritz and Axl's wearing a Thin Lizzy t-shirt. I had no idea what it meant. By the time I was like 14, I had the Anthrax Only CD single and it had a cover of the Cowboy song. Once again, no idea. By the time I was 20, fucking loved this band. They were always there in some way or another. But this picture in itself is such an iconic image in rock history. You know, it's aggressive, it's passionate, it's rebellious, and it's a bit of a pose, but who gives a fuck? This was the cool shit about the 70s, and the more of this that we can have today would be better. I have to say, to this day, Thin Lizzy do not get the recognition they deserve, or the appreciation. Phil Lynott in particular, he was one of the greats, great songwriting, great singing, great bass playing, and great stage presence. I don't think he was as recognized or appreciated in his lifetime as he should have been. And maybe to this day, some people who know, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. But if you do know, you need to keep spreading the word. There was going to be a movie, and I don't think it's going to happen, but fuck. So, he's one of those people that missed the boat. And
not by much either.
Yeah. Not by much. It was just so fucking close, and it's so tragic because that man was so talented. It was ridiculously talented. He should be up there with Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison and fucking John Lennon, but just, it pisses me off because I get it. You know, I love bands like AC/DC and Kiss. You know, fun music about rock, sex, and partying. It is great to switch your mind off and just escape and enjoy that. But I can't do that for very long. For most of my adult life, I prefer singers and songwriters who just bare their soul. Phil Lynott, Thomas Halapanian from Nightwish, and obviously James Hetfield. Songs that are thoughtful and have substance and get you thinking and make you want to be a better person and changes things, and just, it's the fucking important stuff that will live forever. AC/DC might have brought me to the dance, but I found something I love a lot more, and you got to follow your heart. So I'm going home with Thin Lizzy. Obviously, Thin Lizzy for the win.
Wow, there we go. That does decide it, but we have Belle to go through. So am I going to be left on an island, or are you joining me over here? Which way are we going, Belle?
Shit, sorry, I was just like so using that. That was awesome. Like all of you were all awesome, but yeah, Dave, dude, seriously, that was cool. And I learned and I learned a lot actually from you, Jeff, about AC/DC, and that refers back to some of the comments I made in these. Apology, these are really rushed, stupid notes, but I'll read them anyway.
Apologize.
It's not stupid, Belle. Do what you do.
Ages. I used to do that a lot, and I haven't done it for ages. But yeah, I apologize because I didn't give it a lot of time this week.
All good.
We do what you do.
How it was shaky it was looking. I didn't even know until today. You didn't know until today.
I'm just glad I'm here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna start off with talking about what am I talking about? Right down. Oh, Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy. I'm going to talk them. Cool.
Okay, maybe you need to apologize.
Sorry. At least I know what I'm talking about because I just read like who am I talking about here, and I wrote, as soon as the first chord rings out on this album, I feel my heart rate increase. I'm like, fuck, that's Thin Lizzy. I knew I was talking about them. I don't know what it is about this band, but this tends to happen when I put anything of theirs on. They have such a laid-back, easy sound for a rock band, but by no means is it soft. It's just a laziness to their sound and their music that both relaxes and excites at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
listening to this album is like going on a journey of emotions and feelings. Excitement to start with Jailbreak and Emerald. Chilled out happiness with Southbound. Rosalie and Dancing in the Moonlight get you up and dancing. Well, they do for me anyway. And The Massacre raises your blood pressure, high energy, tense vibes, and somber lyrics. But then you slow down into melancholy.
Belle, I'm so sorry to cut you off. I really am. But in Massacre, when Phil screams,
right?
oh my God, does that not get the fucking chills going up your body?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
holy
it's
shit.
intense.
It is.
It's intense. Yeah, that song. Even the album version, but the song about live.
Like he fucking encapsulates. He lives his fucking lyrics.
Yeah, he does. Oh, I'm sorry.
Have a drink. Have a drink.
Have a drink.
I agree. That was cool.
Whistle. You got to wet the whistle.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. All right, so then you go down into the slower melancholy with Still in Love with You, and then back up again with Johnny the Fox, and so it goes on.
Yeah.
This journey of up and down, but there's just a great energy that comes with whatever they're doing, fast or slow. It's full of intent and meaning. These songs aren't written for the sake of writing songs; they are performed live just as much passion as when they're writing and recording them. On the album that comes from.
Yep.
Phil's interaction with the crowd is so easygoing and natural. It's like he's having a convo over a beer with a mate on his couch. He's just so easygoing. Look, I love this album, and I think it ends far too soon. And I really could have written a lot more. But, you know, and I'm feeling new to it too. I'm getting to know it. I bought this, but it's an original, and it's kind of wonky, and it fucks out on a couple of songs. I'm a bit pissed off.
Oh, it sucks.
I'm gonna hunt down another one.
At least.
Yeah, I've still got it.
You got it.
That's
cool.
It's beautiful. I love it, and like you're right. It's just such a fucking awesome cover. Yeah, it is. So anyway, all right. So as for the AC/DC album, this show, okay, so here's where, Jeff, you have educated me. The show was reasonably early in their career because there are quite a few Bon Scott era hits that weren't played that I would have expected to hear. So I'm guessing those albums hadn't come out yet. But because I wrote that, but you have since informed me that, well, actually they have.
They had. Yeah.
And
I honestly don't think they ever played Long Way to the Top live.
Well, still, it was a hit. I mean, I don't know.
It was a hit. I don't think they ever played it live.
That'd be interesting to find out because this
someone in the comments
really surprised.
Someone will let us know. Anyway,
next album was Highway to Hell. So yeah.
This is back in the day where you didn't have to play hits live. It wasn't about the hits, it was about the live experience. And bands would release singles that weren't on albums. It was a completely different era.
But no one told that to Thin Lizzy. They fucking put out the hits on that fucking live album. Every song.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
That's fairly typical. Yeah.
Well, they apparently played it live on TV in '76, Long Way to the Top.
Okay.
Did they do that at Countdown or something? Or fucking.
I don't know.
What was that on TV?
Was
it in Australia?
I think that was one that did in the flatbed truck as well. So that's a bit of an interesting.
Oh, that's when they went through the city. They were driving through.
They did two versions of that. One on the flatbed truck, one in just like a little setting.
Yeah.
And it came out in one of those rare edition DVDs.
Yeah.
But still,
Okay.
It was a glaring omission in my opinion. Really.
No. But it's surprising they haven't played it more, like at every show, like made.
They'd never played it with Brian Johnson. Never been played with Brian Johnson.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Bond's song.
TNT, fucking,
TNT is played all the time.
Well, Dirty Deeds, was that one of the albums that was out already?
Honestly, I've never heard Bon Scott played Dirty Deeds live.
Really?
So it's not
No.
on either of those two CDs.
No.
But it's such a
It came out in
iconic-
'76. It came out 2 years before this. I don't
Yeah,
understand
it's
why.
not on either of these.
title track
I
of an
seriously,
album.
and
It's
there's,
just
I got bootleg
weird.
CDs and DVDs. I don't think Bon Scott ever played Dirty Deeds live.
I don't know. It was a single, so I'd be surprised if they didn't. But maybe it
Yeah.
They
wasn't
had
before.
plenty of other songs though.
Well,
Maybe,
they
There's probably a reason why he wouldn't.
maybe. I don't know. We're getting way into the weeds now. We can go and do our own digging. down the
Yeah.
line. Let's get back on track.
Research.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Not that
Okay, it
that
was
took
played a
away-
lot in '76. Like Dirty Deeds was played a lot in '76.
Okay. I'm
But-
sure it'll be there somewhere.
Okay, but never since
Sounds like
1979. Played once in 1979, and that was it. It's Hammersmith Odeon, London, December 17 by
Okay.
Setlist FM.
So it was like
Once
one of
it's-
those that hit off this album and we'll play it on these tours and then
Yeah,
but it's
a lot
such
in
classic.
'76, once in '77, once in '78, once in '79, and that was it. If you
Oh,
want,
is that
if
it?
a long way to the top. If you want blood,
Well,
Oh.
there you go. All right.
it was a different world back then. Oh, fuck. sorry, Belle. I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
It's all good. She's having a drink anyway, so it doesn't matter. She took the moment. She
Drink
took the
sounds
moment.
good. I'll leave, but I won't interrupt.
No, don't do that. All
We're all
good.
here to talk
Oh.
about music.
Anyway, it's all fun.
All right. Shall I keep going?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right. So the fact that those hits weren't on the album did
Mm.
not take away from my enjoyment of
Yeah,
this
no,
this
it
live
didn't.
album.
But,
It didn't.
Well, you like me, because I didn't notice it. I honestly didn't notice it. Like,
I did notice it, but I still enjoyed what I was hearing.
Yeah,
And I knew I didn't actually know all the songs. I knew some of
cool.
them. Because
That's
I
cool.
haven't heard all the ACDC albums, so there
That's
was
a
some
good
new
thing.
songs to me. Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
I liked it all. It was just it was a great listen. Bon Scott is such a great rock singer. To this day, I rate him as one of the best. And
One
not
of the
just
all-time great frontmen too, and I think you can pick that up when you're listening to him live, not just seeing it, but listening to it. But anyway, sorry, I'm cutting you off now. The trend.
not just a good rock singer, but a good frontman.
No, there we go. Great minds think alike, Bill.
Indeed.
Like Phil, he was so at ease when he was both singing and talking to the crowd. And the crowd was so into this show from start to finish. And the energy from the band and the crowd was just unrelenting. This was a fantastic live show, captured beautifully for us to enjoy now. And I actually ended up finding this really hard to pick because
Cool.
I thought it would be easy. We've got two charismatic frontmen, both sadly long gone, but in no way forgotten. These were two equally good live shows. Well, shows as a whole.
Presentations. There we go.
Presentations, live albums. So it was really just like which one would I reach for over the other. AC/DC have great songs on their album, but so did Thin Lizzy on theirs. Thin Lizzy's is a more musically diverse set, which captures my attention and interest more. So I'm going to have to go with that one, Live and Dangerous.
You know, I said great minds think alike. You've left me on an island, so I'm taking it back.
Sorry. Hey, I was on an island with Slayer.
Yeah, I know. That's fair play. That's fair play. It's all good.
Oh, come on, that Slayer album sucked.
No way. Slayer's
Let's get
awesome.
back into this again. We've done that battle. The funny part
Slayer
is
solo sucks, so the whole band.
There are some audience comments. I'm going to get to the comments in a second, so bear with me for a little bit longer. But we have gone 4-1. Thin Lizzy takes this one comfortably for us here at the show. AC/DC got one vote for us. The funny thing is, the audience vote was much more close than that. It was pretty much 50-50. It was decided by 3 votes only. That was the difference between the two. And the 3 votes for the audience went with AC/DC. So we've gone against the audience
Oh,
for 2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
2
Yeah.
weeks in a row. So,
Can
Belle,
I
when
just-
we're doing the graphics of battles later on, there's going to be a few. So
Can I just say
It's a little-
something about? Can I just say something about? I just did a quick
Yeah.
read there, and so one of the reasons why Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap was not released as a single, it didn't become really popular until after Bond had died, and Atlantic Records refused to let them release it as a single because it had Hitman, Cyanide,
Yeah, that
all
makes
that
sense.
stuff
Yep.
in there, and they're like, no, it's too offensive.
Yep.
Not letting you do it.
Yep. That's the thing. Yeah, I
Politics.
do remember something. Now that you say it, it's like that whole thing where someone says it, go, hang on, yes, it triggers a memory that you've read something before. Yeah.
So that's kind of fun, but that's
Different,
Atlantic.
like
Records.
you
And
said,
that was the
different
thing.
era.
Like back in the 70s, a song would get released from an album 2 or 3 years before, and it would become a hit. And you can't do that because if you don't hit that moment now, the album that you released 2 months ago is gone.
Yeah,
It'll always go in swings and roundabouts. The music industry started off as singles only. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So,
correct.
Like the
correct.
difference between the fucking, like, you had bands releasing singles and then albums. And some singles never made it to the album.
yeah, and sometimes
come back
B-sides are
around.
bigger than the single itself. You know.
Yeah. Like Beth was the B-side to fucking Detroit Rock City, and Beth was the most popular song.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but that's how it works
And
sometimes.
they didn't
We're
want to
gonna go
release
through
it.
some audience.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
I was just saying that the band didn't want to release Beth as a single. Well, at least Peter and or Gene and Paul didn't. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to take a trip back in time through the audience comments here. Back when Conrad was still with us, Michael said, Vinny, I don't think Conrad will release 12 gold bars when it came to the waiting for Conrad to release his, or do his next release anyways. That was a response to Vinny from Michael. Rowan says, it took Kevin a couple of minutes to get that one, so it was way too hard. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin. Guess the song.
He did well. Fucking hell, did very well.
Nicole said Thin Lizzy for me. Kevin said AC/DC with my pick. Vinny says, see you, Conrad, wash your hands and spray some freshener. Wow. Here we go. Basher says Thin Lizzy album just. However, AC live album with Bond was just better. So there we go. I'm not sure. So both 78, yep, from Basher. So Conrad Guru says, how is the cosmetics business, Dave? So how's the wax making going?
It's, to be honest, it's really quiet at the moment because the cost of living and everything, and most people will shave at home rather than wax things.
This is true. All right, here we go. Here's one from Shotgun Mistress. Back to that for a second. So, bloody love you, honesty, Conrad. We totally agree with a bit. We're lame at being original. Maybe we can open up for Midnight Conrad when it's up and running.
Yes, my band name fucking got there.
Well played. But honestly, thank you to you guys for what you do and have done since the start, and all you bloody legends listening. Thank you. So there we go. That is some comments. You're most welcome. Thank you for giving us some good music to check out.
Fuck yeah.
But that's how you know we're honest. Like that is how you know we're honest. And we'll always be honest. And that way, when you know it, when you know something we love, you can tell we love it. Like that's important to be honest, and it's always going to be that way for us. That's the main thing. Yeah. Bash
just like talking shit over a beer.
Yeah. Great bands and music. Natural Girls, Eskies at the Cricket, and Wild. Dave, you would have fitted in perfectly. So there you go.
I was born 10 years too late.
Also from Basher, apparently from a journal, AC/DC had 12 albums that sound the same. Angus corrected that by confirming he had
13 albums that sound the same.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's a great moment in journalism.
If it isn't broken, don't fix it. If it doesn't itch, don't scratch.
Yep. Michael says Dave in high school was great when these two were released. Had Thin Lizzy had heaps of cred with us. Hillbillies, much loved, and tracks off both played on school PA. That would be cool. I remember the days you get to play songs on the school PA. That was a bit of fun.
I do, but it was all shit like fucking Dr. Vane and God.
No, we had some different stuff.
Put a shotgun in my face and blow my
I grew up in the hills, so we got some different stuff where I was growing up as a kid.
Early 90s was fucking slip my wrist and kill me shit.
Vinny says Bell is now functioning wheel in the fembot. Okay, I don't know why Bell's functioning. I forget what that's from now. Basher says great reviews. I'll thank you for the kind words. Conspiracy Guru says live and dangerous. So there we go. Corey, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. The scary thing is John Bloody Farnham did A Long Way to the Top live. He did, and surprisingly, not a bad job either, to be honest.
It was actually all right.
Yeah. But thanks for jumping in, Corey. Good to see you. Guru says, I went back and bought all the Aussie editions of AC/DC. We got some other covers over here. Yeah, all vinyl, of course, which is cool. It's good to see that stuff still getting around as well. Basher, that's a good precursor, actually. Basher, next week, another tough contest for me, Made in Japan versus Strangers in the Night. And that is the battle next week. It is Deep Purple, Made in Japan versus UFO, Strangers in the Night. So it's going to be an interesting battle.
I know shit about UFO. This will be interesting.
It will be.
I love Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Eddie Trunk's favorite.
Eddie Trunk's favorite band.
I know. I watched that metal show for fucking years.
Yeah.
I tried UFO, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But
Michael says Audio Rain released Relentless 21, an album now in 2024. Just saying, Dave. It was. I haven't released it yet, but the interview it's in hand. I've actually got it pretty much ready to go. But they did touch on that actually in the interview and just said that that's one of those songs that was inspired by what was happening in the world at that point in time, and how that's why the lyric "Bullet in the Chamber" is so fitting for them, because they just wanted to get out and do stuff. And that's what it all sort of comes from.
It's a cool song.
It is a great
song.
It's
the first song I've heard in the mornings, like chucking it on driving to work.
It's a great start to the day, isn't it?
It wakes you up.
Oh, well. And final comment here. Guru says, we had a party, then Kurt came and ruined it all. It wasn't just Kurt. No, I'm not going to
Yes, he did.
It was.
And then he ruined himself and fucked everything. I was just like, what are we doing?
We're not going to do this. We're going to move on from this one. Just thought I'd read out the comment there. Look, so like I was saying.
What color were Kurt's eyes? Blue. I'm blue this way, I'm blue that way.
Oh, that's terrible.
Here we go. I've got worse jokes. All right. So, like I was saying, we're going to have different results now going through as the weeks go on. It's going to be really interesting to see how these sort of polls. If we're going to finally wind up, because we're already splitting off from the audience here quite dramatically, so it's going to be interesting to see if we end up at the same place or not. It's going to be really. But anyway, next week, Deep Purple, Made in Japan versus UFO, Strangers in the Night. That is coming up, along with a whole lot more. Like we're going to do a Cicada Stone. Backyard Banger section, more songs of the week, all that kind of stuff. There's heaps going on. I'll get to you guys in the chat later on as we work out who wants to do what next week. But anyway, time now to go to not a new segment, but a slightly revamped segment before we get out of here. And that is the bin or the win of the week for you, I guess, this week around. So you can either go negative or positive or both, whatever you want to do. But Jeff, let's start with you. I figure you've got a bit in the bin. I could be wrong.
I've got a bit of both, actually. I've got a bin and a win. So, look, today was a bad day for me. I had a shit day at work. I had ended up in a fucking hospital. It ended all right. I obviously I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm much better. But yeah, I had a bad day. So, ambulance was called, the whole shit caboodle. So that was my, waiting and fucking, waiting in a fucking waiting room for fucking, a couple hours almost, for, just to see some doctor and then to have to do like an ECG and having to fucking like shave hair on my chest and,
wait till it grows back and it's going to itch like a motherfucker.
I'm sure it will. I'm looking at this razor. Like,
was there a happy ending?
Yeah. She goes,
you left.
Do you mind if I shave? Yeah. Do you mind if I shave you? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mind, but I guess you need to, right? She goes, yeah. I said, all right, then, get it done. So I had these fucking things. I brought these home. These fucking,
you brought them home.
Things that they stick all over your fucking body. But look, it gave me the all clear. And so in the end, it was some sort of weird. Well, it was a bit of a panic attack that was brought on by vertigo, and it made me feel like I was fucking dying. I thought I was checking out, and I'm like, "No, you can't die, Jeff. You've got a show to do tonight." So I
no pressure. Wow,
no pressure. So
there's a whole Pink Floyd, The Wall shit, comfortably numb, inject you with some shit
in the sky.
So my win is all you guys for caring so much and reaching out to me and asking if I was okay. So hearts, guys. That meant a lot to me. So thank you very much.
Never stop, man. That's how it
Yeah.
works. I told you guys, all of you, Dave will know this. I treat you like family. Once you're here, you're like family to me. So we'll always look out for us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It means a lot, and yeah, it still does.
Yeah.
It will.
What we do is it's close knit, man.
Absolutely, yeah. And I agree with that. It's a nice sentiment. And so that's my win. You guys, and the other bin was just, and my work as well. They were really good, and so they've got to go in the win factor as well. Because without them doing what they did, they were.
It shows care, man, and that's
so
hard
supportive.
to find.
Absolutely,
yeah.
I'm sad that your win wasn't a breakfast burrito, Jeff.
I thought about my breakfast burrito. I did not end up getting one. I was thinking about, when I was on my way home, I'm thinking,
if you're talking Guzman and Gomez, they stopped serving breakfast burritos at 11 a.m.
Oh,
Jeff,
it's too late.
Did they give you tomorrow off?
No.
Oh,
But they didn't give me tomorrow off. But I don't have to drive in. I can work from home. Okay,
good.
That's kind of
Well,
cool.
you can get a breakfast burrito if you want.
I almost died so you can work from home.
Yeah, so today they gave me off. Like, I went home and then I was so fucking knackered. I just basically went and laid down. I was sleeping.
Exactly. So make sure you get your rest, man. Look after yourself. I know we're all being nice, but please look after yourself, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. Hey, this morning was the last way I thought I was going to spend my fucking day. It was a normal day for me until I got to work.
Like,
and then,
dude, seriously, Conrad can't replace what you do.
No one can replace anyone, Dave. That's how it works.
Right.
Everyone is their own person.
Right.
That's
Well, what we've done in the last year has been fucking great.
I've enjoyed every minute of it, and we need you around to do more. So, Jeff, look after yourself, all right?
I intend to. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And all
and
the
forget
audience
the show.
there,
You're a good person to have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I have no intention of going
You're the
anywhere,
only
as long as
Canadian
have
dude
me.
I know, man. So please stick around.
Of all the reasons to stick around, here we go.
I am your buddy guy. Okay?
Well done. All right. Is there anything else you want to throw in there, Jeff?
No, that's it. That's it.
All right, Dave. Let's get this one wrapped up.
Oh fuck. Okay. What do I have?
I knew that was a bad idea.
I have 2 wins and a bin. Like, Belle, you're fucking champion for the whole adding the win to the bin, because it's time for some positivity. I could bitch about so much shit, but there's some wins from this week. Okay. Firstly, this week, my son turned 10.
Yes.
Rory is now 10.
Yeah.
And for long time viewers of the show, I'm sure I mentioned this before, people who know me, for those who don't, he came early. He was 13 weeks premature.
That was rough.
And 13 weeks. And if you've been through this, fuck, I get it. And if you don't, holy shit, because it's an eye-opener. And that was one of the better statistics, because when he was born, it was like tunnel vision. This tiny little baby who was 33 centimeters and his head was the size of a fucking tennis ball. He was 799 grams. And it's like fully focused. But as the days turn into weeks turn into months, and you start to realize everybody else, and there's like 25 weeks gestation. And you see these tiny little things, like, how the fuck are you alive? And you don't come out of this without being a better person. And he's 10 now. He's happy, healthy, cheeky, funny. He's thriving in so many things. He's a fucking amazing little human. And I love him to bits. And my little man is 10. And the circumstances where I met him, and every year that he's born, and it's like, honestly, I was told I could touch him, but I can't move my fucking hand.
Yep.
Because it would distress him. I could put my hand into the humidity crib. I could touch him, but I can't
move.
And I can't fucking hold him until like weeks later. And I had to leave him there. And it was fucking, it's one of those things that not many parents need to go through.
and hopefully not
And
many.
and it's really yeah. And 10 years later, he's a fucking amazing child, and he turned 10 this year, and it was one of the. It's a massive milestone, so that's a massive win. So I have to document that.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Well, and that's a credit to you and Julia as well, and all the work you've done to make sure it
Yeah.
gets to this point. So that's
He's an amazing person.
yeah.
And you know, as me there's so many different hats you wear. And by pure coincidence, one of the biggest bands that have meant so much to me in the course of my lifetime, Nightwish. This is my other win. They have a new album coming out, and by fucking chance, their first new song for this album is released on my son's 10th birthday.
Yeah. And
that day in itself is like massively emotional for me. And this band is equal to Guns N' Roses. I could not. I honestly, at this point in my life, I could not pick which band means more to me.
Yep.
And for different reasons, it could be one day, one the other. And just my Nightwish are releasing a new song. Comes out in the morning. I can't listen to this while driving to work. I need to put myself into this this state. And like people at work are like, Dave, where are you going with that Vaseline? I'm like, fuck off. Nightwish have a new song. I need to be in my space. Like, obviously there was no Vaseline. It's just like, okay, this is where it's coming. I need to be 100% where I need to be. I need it to be important. I need to be in the right frame of mind. Everything around me needs to be perfect. This has to be the way it needs to be, and I would not want anything to be any different. This is an important day. So I put it on, and it was fucking amazing for the 8.5 minutes. Not one any better. This song means the fucking world to me. I hope somebody nominates it next week.
It will be nominated. Pat just said they're going to nominate it.
It has to be, because holy shit. I spoke about Nightwish last week. I won't go on about it. Hopefully I can talk about it next week. But my son's 10th birthday, Nightwish releasing a new song, 21st of May, 2024. I will never, ever forget this fucking day.
Nice.
Now I have a bin.
How are you going to top that?
Selfish drivers who take up 2 fucking car spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Now, okay, the missus is working. Sometimes I need to go straight from work to pick up Rory from primary school.
Yeah.
There is street parking. There is places where you can obviously fit 3, maybe 2 places for a residential address. If you park in a place where there is space for 2 and you take up the middle, you are an absolute cunt, and you can fuck off because you are screwing up everybody else's day.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yep.
It's not the way people behave in modern society.
No.
It's obvious that you can fit 2 cars in this space and you park right in the middle. Fuck off. That can go in the bin.
All right. Well, the bar has been set ridiculously high, so I don't think, Belle, you or I could even go near it. But, Belle, let's give it a shot over
No, I'm sorry.
No, I can't. I didn't even freaking have a bin or a win until you said, and now we're doing the win of the win. I'm like, fuck. All right, so my bin is I'm sitting on the floor in Ellis's room instead of in my nice, cozy, normal space where I've got a desk and a chair and all of that shit that, you know, is nice to have when I'm doing this.
Belle, a massive win. Your TNT pillows, my son loved them.
Yeah,
they were fantastic. And to be honest, the walls look really freshly painted, so fuck yeah, that's a win.
That's 'cause they are.
Oh, I better not touch them. Yeah. Yeah, it smells in here. It smells like fresh paint, which I kind of like. It's just a bit weird, but I like
alcohol
that smell.
makes the paint
It'll
smell.
make it high. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's mood. Like
it's got nothing to do with the Cassie D.
How do you figure out your earlier fucking hatchet job then? Anyway, but so after song, bang bang bang, whack-a-mole for Belle tonight.
Oh,
I
when
don't
you were
get
given
it.
low scores.
Yeah.
Songs.
Well, it's because they were not very good, except
She
for the audio
hadn't
range.
breathed in enough paint fumes there.
Oh,
That's
warming
right.
up.
I hadn't
Yeah.
been sitting in here for like only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't like them earlier. Anyway, and I don't know, like, I don't think we need to have both, but let's just say my win is that I got Iron Maiden tickets for September, which is exciting.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Sydney,
Sydney again. Yeah, cool.
the usual.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
So had
Nice.
to do that. So I was pretty happy about that. I actually forgotten about that. I'm like, what's cool that's happened this week? Oh shit, yeah,
That's awesome.
Maiden tickets.
How do you
Yeah.
forget that? That's cool.
I know. It's been that's the kind of week I've had. Just it's that crazy that I've
Iron Maiden over
It's
here
a shame,
going,
though,
"No,
because
it's a box."
If we
So,
had went to the Maiden one in Melbourne, we could have met up.
Yeah,
Are
what
you
the
going?
fuck?
No, it's because of family.
yeah, Sydney's easy
I
for
get
you.
it.
Yeah.
Ah.
So anyway,
It's all good.
sorry.
It's better than me trying to go to
That's all
Brisbane.
right.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's probably easier for me.
it is actually because I can only drive there from here. It's hours. All right, I'm going to close this out. I got a bin and a win. My bin is Facebook again. Like they still haven't got back to me over my previous account.
Fuck Facebook. It's all run by AI now. And anybody who thinks AI is cooking it.
I had to go and set up another account, obviously, to make sure I had access to the page of the Hard Rock Show and all that kind of stuff, which is all good. That's under control. But today, my backup account is now just not functioning properly at all. So Facebook can just go back itself. Like I'm over it.
Yeah.
Just done. On that note, my win is this. I don't know if I know I did it in a private stream for Patreon when I talked about this one and you guys know about it, but I don't know if I mentioned it here. I might have mentioned it last week. If I did, then forgive me, but it's still a highlight for me. But the win is over 2,000 subs on YouTube now. I know it's not a huge amount in the grand scheme of things, but for us, that's a milestone. So I'll take that where I can. And in light of Facebook being absolute dicks, I'm going to take that.
Every one of you 2,000 people bring a friend, that's 4,000.
I know, right?
How are your friends?
So on that note, if you're here watching tonight, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching later on, then thank you as well. But tell everyone you can. Just share the word. Give us a like. Give us a comment. All those things, interaction with our pages, our posts, they are what helps us get the word out there.
Yep.
And if you want to help us more, then check out our Patreon page and you'll get extra bonuses behind that as well. There are links, details, all the sort of stuff in the description of this episode, along with reference tracks for everything we talked about tonight. So make sure you go and check everything out. Make up your own mind. Don't just take our word for it. But yeah, please do go check out the music. That's first and foremost. And then if you can help us out behind the scenes, you'll get plenty of rewards for that as well. Final comments here from the audience before we get out of here. Dave, back when you made your joke about Kurt Cobain, Kevin said, Dave, please keep the Nirvana jokes coming.
Yes.
There we go.
Number one with a bullet.
He's got little blue eyes. See, he's got this smile. One's going that way, one's going the other way. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Guru says, peace. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you've been well. Kevin also said, if I can pull this up, when they shave your chest, it always reminds me of the scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Counter to that is also prayers for you, Jeff. We need as many Rush fans around as possible. So there's some more love.
No, you don't.
There we
Do
go.
we really?
I'll take it.
Thank you so much.
Nicole says, glad you're doing well now, Jeff. So that's the main thing there. Vinny says, my bin is now that I've been single for a while, for shits and giggles, I joined a Christian dating site. My profile name was Come Get... Oh, my God. I said my band.
Is it Psalm 69? Because holy fuck.
Yeah,
holy fuck.
Vinny. Well played, Vinny. Come get some. All right. Jolie has gone. Bless you, Jeff, with Vinny with the pun of the night. Vinny says, glad to hear you got past that killer dookie, Jeff. Conrad, on the other hand, well, then we'll see.
Yeah.
Michael says, get well, Jeff. Don't be slow or hesitant to get your GP's help take care and be well. And I second that completely.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Vinny says, yeah, it's the only time a male can be celebrated for coming 13 weeks early. There you go. There's some nice. It's a nice actual roundabout way of doing that, Vinny. Well done. But then also, happy birthday, Rory. Your old man is a wonderful bloke. So there's some more kind words for you there too. Jolie says, Nightwish loved it. Dave was beautiful. I didn't realize it would convert, but I did. So there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Vinny says third Nightwish song I've listened to. Nice.
Oh,
Dude, message me, man. We need to talk. I need to convert you, motherfucker.
Anyway, here's one as well. So, Stephen, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. First time I think I've seen you comment on our posts here, or our page in general. Stephen said, Dave, it was also my daughter's birthday on May 21. She turned 14. She wasn't breathing when she was born. It was terrifying. I get you, bro. Congrats on being a great dad. And congrats to you too, Stephen. All those things are heart-wrenching, and then some. For anyone that's been through it, you will know it. And for those that don't or haven't, hard to describe it too.
Dude.
Stephen, thank you for sharing that. Genuinely, that's remarkable, and that's over the last few weeks.
Message me if you want to talk.
Yeah, well, that's nicely put, Dave. So if you do want to reach out and talk to each other, then please do that. But yeah, it's a unique thing that people have gone through, and we had last week and this week we had some people sharing some pretty personal stuff, which is a big part of being the community here. So thank you to everyone that's jumped in and said hi and been a part. No matter how big or small your interaction is, if you want to share things like that, then great. But if you just want to say hi, that's cool as well. Like the whole point is to build a community and have some fun with it. So hopefully you've all enjoyed that. And if you're feeling warm and safe enough to do and share things like that, then that's a great bonus for everyone here. And I think that we can all get around that one and generally say, as much fun as we have and we talk shit and carry on. It's all about the love at the end of the day. And I think that's for everyone. And so for everyone that's ever done it tough at any point, then make sure you look after yourself and make sure you're not alone and all that kind of stuff. And for people that have gone through things like that with children, it's a different thing entirely. So credit to you, Steve, credit to Dave and everyone else that's been through that, been there and come out the other side. And for those that anything else that can get to you, then just reach out to someone or to us or whatever else you can do to help out. Do what we can. Where we can.
So it's always darkest before the dawn. You're not alone. Somebody else has done it. Just fucking message me.
Yep.
I'll fucking talk to you.
Yep. Yeah. It's all good. But no, thank you for sharing that, Stephen. Really, really do appreciate that. Those the last few weeks we've had a bit of that pop up, which has been, it's nice to have people feel that comfortable, which is great. Awesome stuff. And I think the more we talk about this shit, the more we get into the light, get it some air, the better off all of us are going to be long term down the line, instead of keeping shit swept under the rug, which is no good for anyone ever. As we go through things. Anyway, I'll quit preaching. I'm a dickhead for that. Anyway, that'll do us for now. We'll move on.
It's there, man.
It's a long time coming. We're time to get out of here. We've got a curfew of getting out of fucking sleep time. We've got to get up early in the morning, go to work and shit. So anyway, tonight. I know it sucks.
I know.
Hopefully you've all had fun tonight. Make sure you go and check out the music, like I said a million times before. It's been a great show. Again, thank you to Jeff, to Belle, to Dave, and to Conrad, who had to bail early. But thank you to everyone for being involved. You guys do a lot behind the scenes as well, which we all know about. Behind the scenes, I don't know about people in public, but yeah, everyone should know that what we said earlier tonight about this being a little family, it's absolutely true. And it doesn't matter if you're past, present, or future. That'll be the way it is for all time. But yeah, thanks one and all for jumping in. We'll see you all again very, very soon. I'm Andrew. On behalf of us all, I don't know. You know what to do. As always, folks, same time, place next week. Until then, drink up.
And rock on.
There we go. See you next time, folks.
Cheers.